Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I saw Will dancing.
Yeah, I was like drumming in the background.
as the intro was going. Oh my god, Will, seriously.
Dude, well, Justin, have you ever heard the term bop? Because supposedly people don't say it, but
No,
I swear that they do. Like, when a
I've
song's
not
good,
heard
people
it.
be like,
No,
that's a bop, right? That's a bop.
I think it's an '80s thing. Maybe
Is it? I don't know.
I don't
They
know.
didn't. They never said it in Stranger Things. If they didn't say it in Stranger Things, then it probably didn't
Then
happen.
it's not an '80s thing.
Yeah, right.
No.
Exactly. But people say it. I'm telling you guys. Drop that in the chat. People say Bob. I'm telling you.
Let me know in the
I'll
chat.
take that to my grave.
Welcome back, Will. It's been a while, and the chat, of course. I was in Hong Kong, and then I got COVID. So we
Not
just
good.
started doing the live streams again, and then we had to stop doing the live streams again. And next week I'm in London for Star Wars Celebration, so there won't be a live stream next week. But the week after, we'll be back again. We'll be back a second time after not being here. So thank you, Will. How are you doing today, sir? Thank you for joining me on the stream.
Dude, well, thank you so much for having me, Justin. I think overall we have a pretty good hit rate because we had like 3 weeks in a row and then we had 3 weeks missed and then we're back now and then we're going to miss next week. So we're about 50%, right? So, we're doing pretty good. So yeah, man, I'm doing well. I'm excited. Justin, I'm on my fitness journey, dude. So I've been cutting. I've been losing a bunch of weight. I'm very hungry, very, very hungry. But that's going to be over soon, and I'll be able to eat a lot more. But yeah, man, really excited. And I pre-ordered Wenwu today, so very excited about that, man. Very excited about that. I had to bring Wenwu home. I love Shang-Chi. I got Shang-Chi right over there, and dude, I'm so excited. Wenwu in suit. That's what we need to talk about. Wenwu in suit.
We will. I don't know why Wenwu isn't out though. Like we spoke about in the stream, we were like, yeah, 100%. They're releasing the dad and the son together because, like, in the blogger pics, they're gonna have them fighting. They got to do it together, and then they were like,
"That's what you would think," but nah. That's Hot Toys always does the opposite of what you expect, dude.
Of course,
yeah.
They have to keep us on our toes, otherwise, what's the excitement? There's no
it's
excitement
almost
there.
like JC and Howard get together and like, what could we do that would be the opposite of what they're expecting, even to our own detriment? And that's what.
Of course,
yeah.
It's like two characters that are the only two in the whole line. Like if we release those two, then we're done with that line pretty much.
Right.
Except for the suited Wenwu. Yeah, release them like a year apart. Completely
it could just be too, they really want to get Wenwu right. I assume that's probably
I think so.
it. Yeah.
There's a lot of pressure in Hong Kong because Tony Leung, very famous Hong Kong actor, so they need to nail that head sculpt.
Which they will. They will.
I hope so.
Total faith.
So. We've got faith. Emerald, go and kill that spider. My brother found a spider in the bathroom and he's begging me to kill it because our parents aren't here to do it. Emerald, you better go kill that spider.
Yeah. Well, Justin, that's the question. Do you kill it or do you capture it and release it? What do you do?
Here, you kill it because otherwise it'll kill you.
Well, in Australia, 100%. Yes. That's different. That's true. That was probably a dumb question.
Capture and release, free it if you can, but not if it's going to get you.
See, in the States, Justin, people will use the capture and release method, but not me, dude. I go straight for the kill. It's probably not going to kill me, but every spider I see, I'm like, that's a Black Widow, and I just kill it. You never really know. So I'm just like, I don't want to die, so I'm not going to take any chances. Wasps, too. I don't know if you guys have a lot of wasps over there. Bees, I try not to because they're pretty valuable.
Kill the bees.
Wasp, yeah, those wasps, dude, they'll get you. Not the wasps from Ant-Man, but the real ones. The real ones.
Wow.
Yeah.
Alan says, how am I feeling? I'm feeling pretty good, actually. I'm like 99.9% recovered. Steph also got it from me, so I feel really bad. She's still recovering. She's like 80% there. But yeah, a lot better. People saying, good to see you back and better. Thank you very much. Tully says, Hydra stomp it. Yeah, Hydra stomp that spider, for sure.
That's a good move.
Yeah. Bob Dylan is in the house, by the way. Ken is here. Thank you so much, lads, for joining and moderating, as always. C Squared is here, channel member. Thank you so much, C Squared. Roger Gaming NL. And a bunch more folks, including Kaioken99. Love the name, because, Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball is awesome. I will keep addressing the chat as we are going, by the way. But it's news time. Yes, of course. My favorite time, because we get to talk about some new figures. Let's do it. Thank you, Will.
Yes,
we will.
I had to throw in my 2 cents.
Of course. And you will. You absolutely will. Because we're kicking things off with the Premier Toys, a.k.a. Toy Zero, a.k.a. Toysworks, and Flashpoint, and the million different other names. Infamous. They're also infamous.
Yeah, infamous.
This is Toy Zero. They're making a Martian. Why? Why now? I don't know. It's a bit random, I guess, but I liked the movie. I really did. Would I potentially buy this? Heck yeah, I'm going to buy it. But it ain't perfect. It ain't perfect. That's what I will say before I hand it over to Will. Will, number one, have you seen the movie? Because I don't know, sometimes you haven't seen movies that I have seen.
Only older iconic movies have I not seen. But as far as more recent films, I have seen. But I do want to report to people after visiting Kiko, I did watch Back to the Future 2. I really enjoyed it. It was fun. And I've been watching Rocky, Justin. I haven't made it all the way through, but Justin's got me watching Rocky 1. Yeah, dude, I hadn't seen it. Well, because there's what, 4 or 5 Rockies now? I think so, right?
6.
6? Okay. Well, I've seen Creed. I have not seen the new Creed. I've seen the first 2 Creeds. But as far as The Martian is concerned, yes, I have seen The Martian. I loved it. I thought it was great. However, it was a long time ago. And it was one of those where, sometimes with these third-party companies, Justin, like you said, it's not that it's not a good figure. It's a really cool outfit. And the head sculpt's actually pretty cool. It's a very unique figure, but it's just the timing of it. It's like, why? How many of these do you expect to sell now? You know what I mean? And we'll probably talk about it, but the Mad Max figure, I feel the same way. Like Mad Max is amazing and won a ton of Oscars, but is it still relevant now? I don't know if it's as timeless as say like Lord of the Rings or The Dark Knight or, something like that. The Terminator that's a little bit older that you could still sell pretty well today. I don't know if The Martian quite has that, but I guess it's to show what these third-party companies can do and show that, look, you've said it before, Justin. If there's a character that you want in 1/6 scale form, there's a pretty good chance that it exists. And it's because of these third-party companies. So at the end of the day, I'm happy they're making it. I'm just surprised they're making it. Let's say that.
I'm surprised too. And I'm surprised by this. Only if you pre-order do you get this bald cap astronaut with the 5 shadow head sculpt.
Interesting.
Like, surely they would want to, like, you're already going to have a tough enough time selling this. So
yeah,
maybe they think that this will incentivize people to buy, but I don't know. It also might turn some people off. But Tully says in the chat, astronauts are so cool, man. And yeah, I guess it like appeals to a space audience. Like if you like space and space just astronauts in general, I don't know how many there are space obsessed 1/6 scale collectors there are, because there aren't a ton of space figures, but maybe you just like the vibe, you like the design, and then this is for you. Or maybe you really like Matt Damon and you don't have a figure of him in the collection, and then this is for you. So I guess there are reasons to pick this up. I love the LEDs in the helmet, by the way. That is so freaking
That's
cool.
really cool.
I love that. There is no display base pictured though, and that has me kind of worried, because like it's the Martian. Surely you have to do a Mars themed display base, like not the sand footprints.
Yeah, give him the sand Mando base.
Not the sand footprints, of course. Nobody ever wants those. Just like a print of Mars, like just a 2D image of orange sand. Surely they will. I hope so. But the outfit looks really good. The head sculpt's 6 to 7 out of 10, maybe. The likeness is there.
Yeah.
But so far, not so good. We'll see. I will get this when it comes out. I enjoyed the movie. Then hopefully I can help you decide if you want to get it, because that's what my reviews are all about.
Yeah.
You don't have to pick up everything. I'll do that for you. And then I will show it to you on camera and you can make up your own mind. Don't copy my opinion. Just make up your own mind. Watch the video and then hopefully I've shown you enough for you to decide. Next.
Ooh.
Mars Toys, baby. Mars Toys. Okay. Will. Mars Toys just released that 66 Joker.
Yep.
It is incredible. One of the best things that I've ever seen in 1/6 scale. So they have a lot of good will right now with me.
Ooh.
Dr. Fate, but not the costume Dr. Fate. This is interesting because technically, I guess it's not Dr. Fate, because he becomes a completely different person when he puts on the helmet, which is Dr. Fate. So I don't know how many people are going to want to buy a Pierce Brosnan, an older Pierce Brosnan figure, even though I think he kind of carried that movie. And as good as this figure looks, I'm not sure. So in the chat, please let me know. Are you interested in a non-costumed Dr. Fate in a really beautifully tailored 3-piece suit? But Will.
Yeah.
We literally just spoke about Black Adam yesterday, actually.
The figure. We did.
We didn't talk about this, though. Mars Toys and their version of Dr. Fate, not in the full superhero getup.
Yeah. This is pretty interesting, Justin, because I think when we're looking at these older DC figures, I guess you could call them older now, even though the film's pretty
Yeah.
recent, because it's the previous leadership, right? James Gunn is taking things in a new direction, and of course, this is not going to be part of it. So I think even Black Adam has suffered, right? And then when you look at Pierce Brosnan, this is even more niche than that, obviously, far more. So, they made the Dr. Fate figure, it wasn't Mars Toys. I think it was maybe Toys R Us, right? They made the Dr. Fate figure, which looks
Or
pretty cool in
Flashpoint.
its own right. Yeah, something like that.
One of their
Dude,
other
the
brands.
names for third party are always the best. That's like the most entertaining thing when you wake up and see a third party figure. I just want to see the name of what it is. Like, remember we said Pennywise? No one made a third party Pennywise, but
Actually, somebody did make a third party
oh,
Pennywise.
did they?
I saw it in Hong Kong.
Was it
I forget.
Pennywise?
It was like Killer Clown
Oh, okay.
something or other. Yeah,
Because we'll talk about it, but like Joel, the last father, like it's stuff like that. I mean, it's always so much fun. Like the Scorpion was what? Representative from hell. Like it's just.
I like that though. He's like very professional. He's a
They come up, yeah, he is. He's like he's come to collect basically. But I will say, as far as this Mars Toys figure, Justin, Mars Toys is doing some really, really great things, and I know you know this better than anyone because what you just said about that Joker, and you have it in hand. Mm-hmm. They're a company to pay attention to. They're doing a lot of really good things. They're obviously pretty focused on Batman and a lot of DC stuff right now. Although they are kind of doing some other stuff like Breaking Bad, which now, after seeing the quality of Mars Toys releases, that Gus Fring, I'm definitely getting that. Because before I'd kind of written that off, I was like, who is Mars Toys? What are they doing? I don't really know, right? But I love Breaking Bad and I love what they're making. As far as this, it looks really good. But are people going to buy it is the question. And that's something they need to consider. And I'm sure they probably have. But I'm also a little concerned, Justin, for a third-party company, they seem to be producing a lot. They seem to be they seem to have a lot of things in the pipeline, which is typically more from what I've seen from other third parties besides Toys R Us. Toys R Us might be the only one that's producing as much as they are. Like Game Toys, they do a figure like once a year, or Limb Toys, right? Companies like that. Yes. I do them kind of infrequently. Pop Toys, pretty rarely. But then you see Mars Toys who are producing a lot of things. So I just hope they can maintain that quality, that standard that they set for themselves. Because this is a company that I would love to see get licensed. Because I think they're pretty much approaching So-So quality, if not better. I mean, like I haven't owned a So-So piece, but you have. But from what I've seen from the photos, and I've seen some in hands, because I think Kiko had he had the Kingpin and a couple others, I think. But this is a really good head sculpt. The paint apps are not quite Hot Toys level, but they're pretty close. And there's a good head sculpt. But again, you got to be a pretty diehard Black Adam fan to pick this one up, because I'm sure it's really cheap. But at the same time, are you going to dedicate that space and that money to something? Some people really love the film. The audience score was really great, but overall was mixed, and people didn't support it in the box office. So, it's just a tough call. For me, easy pass, but I got to acknowledge Mars Toys is doing some good stuff here.
They are. And I do want to talk about the DC and unlicensed figure situation, because there are no other licenses that are produced as often by third party than DC. And I do want to talk about that in a second. But E2, channel member and mod of my my Facebook group, thank you so much, E2, for being here, says, Mars Toys, they have risen to great heights recently. Yes, sir, they have. And C Squared says, that's a good-looking Pierce Brosnan. Oh, yeah, he is. Silver Fox, some people would even call him. But then in the chat, everyone else, Bomb Boy, not really. Alan, short answer, hell nah. Rodder says, nah, rather get the full suited and booted Dr. Fate. Totally understand that, because that, like I said, is like the ultimate look for him. So not a ton of love. Not saying that it looks bad. It looks absolutely awesome. But I think potentially the wrong look for Dr. Fate, as fantastic as this is. And yes, I will get it and I will review it. And maybe that'll change everyone's minds. Maybe they'll see how good it is, the quality of it in the review. And then you'll decide, nah, this is the Dr. Fate I need.
Right.
We'll find out. Love the chrome helmet, though. That chrome gold, beautiful.
That pops. Yep.
Pops for sure. And you need that pop because his outfit is just a blue suit, which is very finely tailored. Not taking anything away from the tailoring. But you do need that pop of gold just to help him stand out in the DC display.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Will.
There it is.
You started watching Rocky. I don't know if you've seen Apollo yet.
I have, yep.
Okay, good. You've seen Apollo, so you know who he is. You know Carl Weathers, obviously, from many things. Star Race. Um, how do okay, let's start off with I'm really happy that someone is making Rocky figures. I truly am. I love, love, love Rocky, and I absolutely need more 1/6 scale Rocky figures in the display. But why the hell did they use Arnie's body? This is an M34.
Is it?
For those of you who don't know, M34 was specifically designed after Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's his body. So instead of going with an M30, perhaps, which is a little bit smaller, a little bit more in line with Carl Weathers' physique back in the day, they went with M34, which is huge. This guy is going to be a monster. And Apollo was not that big. I actually did speak with the head of prototyping at Star Race, and I told him as much. I said, hey, use M34. Why? It's not necessarily the best body you can choose. You don't even have to go crazy. Just go M30. You don't have to do a custom body. M30 will work. You can even boost up the height a little bit if you think the M30 is too tall by making the boots, the connector in the boots, just sit a little bit higher. Just that ball joint socket, move it up a little bit. Give them a bit more height if you think the height's an issue. No. So we've still gone with the M34. At the very least, I like the outfit and I like the head sculpt. I think it looks like him. Now. Looks like him now. Will it look like him when it's released? I don't have a lot of faith in Star Race after Homelander and Butcher. Butcher was better than Homelander, but not by a lot. So I'm willing to give them a go. I have pre-ordered this, but I don't know what it's going to turn out like. If they had released this after their Street Clothes Rocky that they have on pre-order, and they nailed that one, and we knew, okay, perfect. They're putting all their effort into the Rocky line. They're going to nail it. Let's get Apollo. But they didn't do that. They put this guy up before they've ever released a Rocky figure or their Rocky statue that they have on pre-order. So the short answer is, I don't know. What I do know, though, is his body is too large, and I am worried that they're just going to paint it rather than tinting the silicone in the mold. Because with Homelander, they painted the Fison body on his neck, this really weird, like, greenish skin tone, and immediately that was peeling off, because you cannot paint silicone with anything but silicone paint. And they weren't using silicone, because nothing sticks to silicone except silicone. It's a science thing. It's just fact. You cannot paint silicone with normal paints. It's not going to work. Hopefully they haven't painted this. Anyway, I'm willing to give it a go, like I said. I'll pick it up and we shall see. But Will.
Yeah.
I don't even... What do you think?
Dude, this is a tough one, Justin. And over time, I've actually started to feel a little bit of sympathy for Star Ace. And I'll explain why. And the reason I feel that is because... like anything in life, I never want to be too difficult on someone that's trying, right? And they're trying their best. They're grinding. They're acquiring licenses. They're producing figures. They're trying to do something pretty special and unique here because, like you said, no one is making Rocky figures besides them. They're tackling some interesting things, but it just when we're looking at it more objectively and we're looking at these figures, they're just not really up to industry standard right now. They're not really up to where, of course, Hot Toys are, or what InArt's doing, or even what 3-0 is doing for a lot of things, right? Like the body on this one looks pretty cool, but when we're looking, for me, his face looks a little off here. Something's off there with me.
He's got the mouth guard in.
But and Justin, you know pretty well, like when I look even at what Iconic Studios has done with Ryu and of course Muhammad Ali that's going to be releasing soon, hopefully, you see that and you're like, with this, because this looks okay to me. Like the body looks pretty good overall, but like you said, I have very little faith that they're going to be able to deliver even to this prototype level, which even to the prototype level, look, I'm not the biggest Rocky fan. Maybe I'd want an Apollo Creed after watching the film. I'm getting through it, but you know, the head sculpt to me, very blank expression. It almost looks like even now, it could be lighting, but even now, the head looks a different color than the body to me. So, and that's what happened with Homelander, because I saw your review on that, right? But if I'm looking at that, it matches close, but there's something off even now. And what's it going to look like when it comes to your door? And that's the question, right? And look, the facial expression, Justin, it's just very blank, and it looks very toy. which is unfortunate because for 1/6 scale, I feel like Hot Toys set the bar, and these other companies now with Mars Toys, what they're doing, a lot of these third-party companies are doing some amazing things, and I think when you look at this Apollo Creed, it just makes you feel it feels a little lackluster, and that's why I'm excited that they're doing something unique. But at the end of the day, man, I don't quite feel like it's at the level where people are going to be happy with it. So I don't know, man. It's not for me either way, but Star Ace, unfortunately, as much as I want to root for them, I just don't trust them. They don't have a good track record. So
they had a really good opportunity, Will, to do something like what Iconic did with Muhammad Ali.
Right.
Work with Bison on a custom black body, because we don't have anywhere near enough representation with seamless bodies in 1/6 scale. Like, if you wanted to switch this body for Apollo, you cannot. There are no other seamless bodies with the darker skin tone. There just aren't. So they had a really good opportunity to do that and maybe even sell that body separately after they've worked with Bison to make it, because they could have. Rocky, seems like they're teasing a Rocky. His body looks like an M33, which is significantly smaller than Apollo. So it's like David versus Goliath, which is not how it really was in the movie. But nevertheless, yes, they are teasing a Rocky. There are multiple versions. Someone says you can change the clothes. Yes, you can. So you can put the training outfit on him. And I guess he looks better with the training outfit on. But I really wanted to get super excited about this. I've been waiting forever for an Apollo Creed in 1/6 scale. But for the deluxe version to not have like a corner of the ring as the diorama display base, and then when you get Rocky, you can connect up the two corners and it be like a ring diorama. That's a gimme. You had to do a ring, unless they're planning on selling it separately. I don't know. But there are so many missed opportunities here. Apparently, it's got movable eyes.
Well, that's become like an industry standard nowadays, like where like almost every figure is going to have it. But Justin, the other thing too, and again, this kind of saddens me to say, but what NR and other companies have told us, this, when a company gets a license, they pretty much just want to give it to one company usually. They're like, okay, let's get it to. So it just kind of makes me sad sometimes, unfortunately, and I want to be honest about this, when Star Ace gets the license, and I'm like, damn. Like someone else could have had that, right?
I feel really bad.
Yeah, I feel bad saying that because they're trying and they're not doing horrific work, but it's just like the boys, for example. Can you imagine how good it would have been to have a company like maybe NR or Hot Toys, or Hot Toys probably didn't want it, but maybe 3-0 even could have done the boys. Like,
yes, true.
That would have been better. So,
or even Damn Toys, maybe.
Yeah, Damn Toys would have killed it.
They're really good.
And I just think when you see a company like Star Ace, maybe it doesn't have the greatest track record, they're grabbing a license like that, and then collectors lose in the end. So, and that's kind of what saddens me about this, even because could you imagine someone else probably would have made a Rocky figure eventually? Maybe it was Iconic, or maybe it was 3-0.
I know someone else is making a Rocky figure, but not an Apollo Creed. Someone else is making Rocky. Surely you all can guess. I'm not going to say it, but you all surely can figure that out.
Mars Toys.
No, I wish it was Mars Toys. Mars Toys were doing awesome
because they're making everything right. But anyway, that's my point. Ash
says after you finish watching Rocky, Will, you'll drink some eggs, train, and then go fight someone. Maybe it'll be Star Race that he'll fight. I don't know.
I don't hate him. I just I want to be honest about it. But it's
I agree.
Apollo's not that big though. You're right.
They have potential because their Batman Ninja line, I actually think is really good. It's one of my favorite fleshed out lines. We got Catwoman, multiple different versions of Batman. We got Joker. We got Harley. That was a pretty good line. I'd say it's a solid 7 to 8 out of 10 for a line so far from them. But I don't know. They couldn't recapture that same magic with realistic head sculpts I get. I guess they have a new head of prototyping. Waruna is his name. And he does really good head sculpts, but he's head of prototyping, so that doesn't necessarily translate to final product. But I am hoping that because it's his work that is potentially going to be butchered on the production line, that he does have some oversight and that this can be really good. But the body is just too big. Make the body a little bit smaller. Roger Gaming NL channel member says, it would be nice if they made a face where you can see a mouthpiece like he's in the ring. Yes, so the angry face with the mouthpiece, the mouth guard, but without the headpiece. I agree.
Right.
I would have loved an angry expression head sculpt, or even a smiling one, because it's Apollo. He's a showman. He's always smiling. So I would have loved a smiling head sculpt as well. More variety is always a good thing. All right. Moving on to The Last Father.
The Last Father.
The Last of
What
Us.
a name.
Last Father. They are making Ellie, though. They have teased Ellie, because I said to Will the other day, where the hell is Ellie? Like, everyone's
Right.
making Joel, but you have to make Ellie. And they
Mhm.
did tease the sculpt for Ellie, and it actually looks really,
It did
really
look really good, actually. Yeah.
So maybe their Ellie is going to be the one to have, but I don't necessarily know that The Last Father is the Pedro to have for Joel from the show, because there are other companies working on, there are multiple other companies, I think, working on a Joel, and they do look a touch better, although 1/6 Kit did share a video, I believe, of the prototype head sculpt, like actually physically holding it, and it looked so much better than these promo pics. It didn't look as wide as the promo pics, so now I'm thinking that it might be better than how it appears here. Like, the first impression was not fantastic, including Will. He was like, nah, it ain't it.
Yeah, I messaged like everyone, including you. I was like, nope.
Clutch says, that's not Joel, that's Jael. Jael. Joel.
Yeah, might as well be.
Yeah, so anyway, let's get stuck in. I watched the show, finished the show, of course I did. I really, really, really love the show. I really love the game. I love Pedro. Perfect storm. Heck yeah, need figures. But this head sculpt in the promo pics, no. I said to Will when he messaged me and he was like, no. I was like, it's not that bad. Like, it's Pedro. But now that I've seen more of these promo pics and I sat down and I really thought about it, no. Then again, the 1/6 Kit video that they shared has me second guessing myself. And I'm thinking, maybe it will be good. So again, I will get it and we'll compare it to the Mars Toys one, and we'll compare it to whoever else makes one. And then we can pick as a community which one is the best Joel, the best Last Father out there. Because maybe there'll only be one Last Father. It's going to be this one. Will, the Last Father. Ooh, seamless forearms.
Seamless
I forgot
forearms,
I put that picture in there. Okay.
No excuse for Hot Toys anymore, Justin. No excuse.
This isn't even the only third-party figure in this new segment that has seamless forearms. There are more. Oh, there's one more, I think. So third party with seamless forearms, it's happening more and more often. Multiple different looks with Joel, but I'm not sure about the horse yet, unless I miss something with the pre-order that the horse is going to come with it. But I think this man needs a horse. So hopefully Will open up his 1/6 scale stable, grab one of his Star Race horses, and give it to
I
Joel.
should have kept that one, honestly, for this very reason, but I sold it because I got a black horse for Arthur Morgan. So, but dude, it's beautiful. But hey, I'm a horse collector. I like to diversify. I'll pick up another horse.
There you go.
Nothing wrong with that.
There you go. Seamless horse, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Seamless all the way. No visible joints on those horses. Not on mine. Not in my stable.
Not at all. Will?
Yes.
The Last Father.
Yeah, Justin. So originally, when I first saw the photos drop, a lot of people had messaged me the next morning because they were like, "Oh, Will, you got a Joel. Like, there you go. It's a Dopo, right?" And I looked at it, and I was like barely awake, and I was like, and I was like, I don't know. So then I woke up a little bit more, Justin. Like, got moving in the morning and looked at the photos, and I was like, nope. I was like, this ain't it. Like, because, sometimes, Justin, we've talked about this a lot. I think you and I and on other streams. Are we more forgiving or less forgiving of characters that are beloved to us? Normally, I'd say we're more forgiving because we really want that character on our shelf and we're willing to accept some issues or, some flaws, perceived flaws, just because we really want that character. This, though, however, this is before I even knew Mars Toys was even making one. I saw this and I was like, it's not that the likeness is super bad. It's like the detail. It's like the size of the face, I guess you could say, the scale. Like something. Something looks either, I can't tell if it's too wide or too narrow, but something in the face looks off, right?
It's something.
It looks boxy. You know what I mean?
It looks very boxy.
It looks boxy. It almost looks like almost kind of cartoonish in a way. But if you look at that middle photo there, it doesn't look too bad from that angle. Mm-hmm. But then the seamless forearms are great. But then when I look at the proportions on the body too, I'm like, something looks off, right? Like the head, I don't know. He looks like,
I think I know what it is.
Too broad.
So
what is it?
With perfect not perfect, but with human proportions. Usually the bottom of the wrist is in line with the bottom of the crotch. And here, if you draw a line across where the bottom of his wrist is, it's like at his hips. So his arms are too short. So it gives him this like gorilla, like stumpy sort of look. And I 100% see it now that you've said that. I didn't see it before. And something was funky. And I think it's that the seamless forearms aren't long enough. And maybe when you pop the jointed ones on, because the wrist peg is there, it'll give you a little bit more length and fix the proportions. But I love seamless forearms. I want to use the seamless forearms. So maybe they'll work out the proportions. But out of everything that could potentially be fixed here, I think that the seamless forearms and the proportions, they're not going to change. So.
But then, Justin, I got to go back and look at the show again. But even if you look at the coat version, his sleeves are very long. They're like almost over his hand. And even this, you look at some of the tailoring, and I'm just kind of like, there's just some missing things here that maybe Toys R Us can improve upon. But with Mars Toys, showing
maybe his crotch is too low. He said
maybe. Well, it does kind of look like it now that they're saying that. But I will say that, and also, maybe we can't tell from the photos entirely, but some of the weathering, maybe he's obviously been through an apocalypse, but at least it's not a sand base. I will say that, and, you have that. But I do think, Justin, there's just a lot of misses here, and I'm hoping that Mars Toys does even better. And of course, Lim Toys teasing the game versions. Super excited for that. But overall, I mean, I will consider this because, like you said, 1/6 Kit shared the video, and it actually looked a lot better. So I'm hoping that maybe it can be improved upon and they'll fix some of the proportions and some of the issues, because I'm going to get an HBO Joel. It's just a matter of which one. And I'm just going to wait for the best one.
Yeah, that's totally fair. And I will pick this up. I'm a fan of Toys R Us. They've delivered, I think, more hits than misses, although they do have misses. Absolutely. They have had many misses. But they also have had quite a few hits. I think their Zemo is fantastic. That is a really, really solid figure. So I'm willing to give this a go. And if they're the only ones making an Ellie, then I'm all in. And they're crazy enough to do a full custom body for Ellie, like a shorter body, potentially with the seamless forearms again. If anyone was crazy enough to try that, it would be them. Where other companies, they might try and use an off-the-shelf body just because they don't have the resources that Toys R Us do. But because they are so many companies and they release so much stuff, and pretty quickly too, I wouldn't be surprised, number one, if we see this very soon, like within 6 to 8 months perhaps, released, and if they do a custom body with Ellie. So I'm really excited to see where they go with this. Present Toys. Someone actually asked earlier about the Present Toys Punisher. I wanted to answer it, but it's now scrolled past, and I apologize. But yes, I will be reviewing the Present Toys Punisher from the Netflix series, because that was just released. Present Toys did announce that they're doing a Wasteland Ranger. Mad Max, but not the Mel Gibson Mad Max, which they've already made. This is the Tom Hardy Mad Max from the newer film. I was speaking to Steph about this the other day. I was like, Mad Max? Everyone seems to be talking about Mad Max, but I watched that film, and I swear that he only had like 5 to 10 minutes of screen time, and he barely said anything. But maybe I need to watch it again, because I don't know if that's true. But I swear that is the case. So I don't know how many people need a Mad Max right now, because like you said earlier, Will, timing is super important. And as incredible as this head sculpt looks, it looks just like Tom Hardy, in my opinion. And they're using real leather for the outfit, so there's a lot going for it, and seamless forearms. I don't know. Please weigh in the chat. Bomb Boy says Mad Max with 10 exclamation marks. Kaioken says that Wasteland figure is fire, so people are loving it. But will you get it, is the question. How many of you have actually pre-ordered this? How many of you will pre-order this? Do you have a spot for Mad Max in your collection? Who do you pose him with?
Right.
Because right now, that Furiosa that was released a while ago isn't great. So I don't know how many people are going to pick this up. I definitely will, because I've wanted a Mad Max for a while, and specifically the Tom Hardy version, but they've never been awesome. I think this one stands a chance, the possibility of being awesome, especially with that real leather, because nothing screams quality more than real leather, and we all know that. As soon as you get that smell right out of the box, you're like, damn, that's a
game changer. Yeah,
it's a game changer. Exactly. And then the seamless forearms. You can have him wearing the mask, got real metal chains, a bunch of different weapons and accessories and bits and pieces. there's a lot going on. It's a very complicated figure. But Will, I've heard you speak to people. I think I was watching your stream. Someone mentioned Mad Max, and they were like, "Yeah, Mel Gibson." And you're like, "No, I don't know that one. I only know this the Tom Hardy one." Oh, you were talking to John from InArt, and you were talking about he was talking about that Mad Max, and you were talking about this Mad Max.
Oh,
and
gotcha.
then you kind of you worked it out after that. But damn,
yeah, it's a good head sculpt. It's a good head sculpt. You know who that is for sure. But dude,
Present Toys deliver.
This is why it's tough, Justin, because just like you said, it's all about timing, dude. Like I said, this film won a ton of Oscars. It's a very popular film. It made a ton of money. I saw it in the theaters, I think 2 or 3 times. It was a really exciting, unique theater experience, and it was super well done in terms of what they did practically. Like if you watch the behind the scenes of it, how much of it was just not CGI. And it was crazy and just a super impressive film. And that's the reason it won so many awards and it got praised by the Academy like it did. Tom Hardy is great in it. I will say, Justin, yeah, Tom Hardy's definitely in this more than 5 to 10 minutes. He's like, he's like the main, him and Furiosa, Charlize Theron are the 2 main characters. So they're in it by far the most. So they're in it quite a bit. But it's a really good looking figure, dude. Honestly, when I look at it, it's a really tempting figure. But again, when you're looking at the ultimate questions of whether you're going to buy a collectible, Justin, one of the biggest things is for a lot of collectors, what am I going to put it with? Right. And then the other question is, what is my budget? Because eventually, there's so many good things coming out. Hot Toys is, if you love Star Wars, if you love Marvel, if you love DC, you love the one-offs, you love InArt, you love Iconic, you love Mars Toys. There's so many good figures coming out. And it just, not say this is not a great figure. It is. But Mad Max came out like 5 years ago? And I don't know if it reaches the point, as great as the film was, I don't know if it's reached that point of being iconic like The Dark Knight or Terminator or something like that is pretty much timeless. You could release an Arnold Terminator figure today and people would lose their minds. So I don't know that this has quite that aura around it. And as great as the figure is, I'm just, again, looking at it like how many people are actually going to care. And it feels like this kind of came out and then came and went. And it's great. Present Toys is doing a great job, but I'm interested with these third-party companies and how they're selecting figures. That's kind of interesting. But again, I like that we're getting different things, and I'm glad this exists. It looks great and it's tempting, but do you need it? And what are you going to put it with? For me, I'm not as worried about what I'm going to put it with because I don't really care. Like I'll put it with Scorpion and call it a day. Like
you know what somewhere. I mean?
Yeah, like as long as I love the character, I'm gonna find a spot for it in my heart and in my collection, in my budget. But how much do you love it based on what you also love?
Hey, that's a good
hello
question.
there.
Good point.
Oh my God! Is it time to go to Olive Garden?
It might as well be, Rob, that you're here.
It's so good to see you guys, man. It's been way too long,
dude. It's been way too long, Rob.
Dude, I have a box from Comics Sanctorum.
Oh,
that's a deep cut.
That sounds that's a deep cut.
What are you cutting there, sir?
Now I'll tell you what's interesting about this. I ordered this like 2 years ago.
Sounds about right.
No, but I mean I ordered it 2 years ago, and it's you know what it is?
What is it?
It's Juice Girl.
It's Juice Girl.
It's Juice
Good
Girl.
old Hella.
Because I didn't get any
really good, bro.
Yeah, I didn't get any of the Ragnarok figures Ragnarok and Rogue One.
Those are 2 really
those are 2 really good lines.
I know, and I didn't, but now I've got, because of certain viewers, I have Gladiator Thor. I wanted Hela, and I just need Gladiator Hulk, and I'm good.
At least
first. And you need the Loki probably also.
Do I?
I think so. Because he can go in like Infinity War, or he can go in.
Yeah, he could.
Ragnarok. Okay. He's multi.
And then I told you I picked up. I've been a gentleman, a viewer of the channel, viewer of this channel, viewer of all channels, allowed me to acquire his 6-scale third-party X-Men set.
Hey.
So Justin's got most of them, but I have everything from Colossus to I think this is the Ian McKellen. It's actually in a pretty cool box.
That is a really cool box. Yeah.
That Magneto, Rob. I need to get that.
I think this is. I don't know. This is just what I grabbed. It is. Ooh. Wow. Okay. I have something to show. Okay.
Show and tell time. Let's do it.
Okay. First of all, there's 2 different head sculpts, and I didn't know this. Hang on. Let me. this figure.
Who made it, Rob? Is it the Figure Masters one or is it the Toys Era one?
I don't know.
It looks good from a distance.
Here,
Figure Masters, perhaps. It is the Figure Masters
one.
Ooh,
that looks really good.
It is quite good.
That is really nice.
And that's really great. And then it comes with this head sculpt.
Ooh, also really nice. Wow.
Not bad at all.
I'm impressed by that.
And the only accessories he comes with, he does come with a stand and then hands. But this, you know what? I didn't even open this. This is very impressive.
Till now. Heck yeah, Rob. X-Men is the bomb. I've just told Rob he's now infected me. Now I'm doing X-Men too. So,
well, it's funny because they re-released was it the Negasonic Teenage Warhead?
Yep.
And I bought that because I think I got it from Toys Wonderland for like $75.
Whoa!
Yeah, it was one of those sale things, and so now I've got. I mean, a lot of them are iffy, but having them all together, some of them, yeah. But having this one is not iffy, and
no, I like that actually. I've reviewed that Magneto because I was sent it. It was on loan. This was back when my channel was really, really small, and I reviewed it, and unfortunately, I had to send it back, and I really didn't want to because I loved it. But now I need to go and find one. I know where I can get one, and I'm not going to say where it is, so nobody else goes.
Well, what's cool with this is this box that comes in. Look at this. Yeah. The top of the box is magnetized, but it comes like
I like that
as a backdrop.
Yeah,
isn't that cool? Wow. So I guess cool. This is X-Men: The Last Stand. So
nice.
So now he and the guy who got it, like I have an Iceman that has both Bobby Drake's head and then the ice head. Do you have that one?
Yes, sir.
That one's
just won the auction before I started this stream.
Really?
Yeah.
That recent.
That one's pretty great. And so it's great when you put them all together. And then I got a I don't know if it's so I guess it is the Dark Phoenix. But it comes with a sculpture of the Firebird, the Phoenix.
Oh, nice.
That bird.
By the way, if I could weigh in on the Wasteland Ranger, I want this figure because I'm a huge Mad Max fan.
We were talking about the movie, Rob, and we were talking about whether or not it's hit that like iconic status yet. Like if a record goes platinum, for example, like
it's an incredible movie.
Off?
It is incredible, yeah.
And I think present toys. I mean, I picked up. Didn't they make the Robert De Niro and Al Pacino from Heat?
Did. Yep.
I have those. I got those recently. I got those from 1/6 Outfitters. Again, I ordered them 2 years ago. And they came in and I got them. Whereas I've already paid for the shipping on my InArts Deluxe Joker, and who knows when I'm going to get that.
Hopefully soon, Rob. I mean, you've seen it in person,
Yeah, well, I keep telling people, seeing you do the reviews, even the Aragorn, which wasn't finished yet, was incredible.
Yeah, I did shoot Aragorn because Rob held Aragorn. He saw Aragorn, but it was an early prototype, and they politely said, "Hey, don't release that."
Yeah, don't show it.
Not super happy about that, but I will potentially. I don't know. I'll figure something else out. Maybe I'll shoot some coverage when we go to if I can get to San Diego Comic-Con, because Will and I are working on that constantly. Will's like, "Hey, Justin, you coming?" And I'm like,
"Tell me every week."
Yeah, I mean, there's so much good stuff from third-party figures coming out. I mean, I saw this the other day. I mean, I love this. How cool is that?
I know, with the little podium
and all the background. Yeah. I mean,
I've been waiting for a Harvey Dent for a really long time because you know what? I believe in Harvey Dent.
I believe in Harvey Dent too.
I had to, but we haven't had an Aaron Eckhart just basic Harvey Dent, and except for the first Hot Toys one with the swap out head sculpt, and it's quite old now.
Yes, I have that figure, the first one, and it's not bad. I mean, it's funny. I'm glad that they re-release all these figures for people who want them. By the way, I did get my '66 Batmobile from Jazz Inc.
Ooh.
And it's fantastic.
It's a beauty.
I've heard great things.
I mean, I grew up with that, and it was fun to take my Hot Toys Batman and Robin out of their boxes for the first time in like 8 years or something. Because I bought them because Hot Toys was going to make the car.
Yeah,
they were going to do that, and I don't know. You probably already covered this, but how excited are you guys for the Flash?
Oh,
I'm very excited. We haven't spoken about the Flash, but Michael Keaton is my jam. Like him as Batman. That Danny Elfman theme, I like. It just has a permanent residence in my head. Like,
I'm now judging movies by how expensive the hot toys are going to be that I want from the movie that I'm watching.
Will they make a Flash though?
Yeah, that's the question.
I don't know.
Well, McFarlane Toys is all in on the Flash. I mean, they're bundled. There's a Batwing, the Batwing, the Batmobile. They're making multiple Flashes. Supergirl. I really want that Supergirl hot toy figure.
Me too. Surely they'll make her. Although someone will make her. I don't know about hot toys.
Yes. Someone will make her.
Yeah, someone will.
So. Is it time? This is a question for both of you and the chat.
Yeah.
Is it time for Warner Brothers to start being more flexible with the licenses? We've seen them grant Jazz Inc. a license for smaller scale batches.
Right.
Is it time that companies like Daftoys and Mars Toys, they also have that option of getting a license at a smaller scale because they don't make anywhere near as many figures as Hot Toys, because the only one that isn't benefiting from these third-party figures being made is Warner Brothers. And I don't think that's 100% fair because it's their IP. They should also have a slice of the pie. But being locked into this marriage with Hot Toys and then Hot Toys not making anything, it's basically...
Yeah, I mean, look what So Toys has got a cottage industry making toys from DC properties. And I mean, probably, if they could... Did Mars Toys make the green John Jones? Did the Justice League? Did Zack Snyder?
That was Toys era. The Zack Snyder's Justice League Martian Manhunter. That wasn't amazing.
No, it wasn't.
But it was a thing. We put in the back of the display, it's
that's
set dressing, we'll call it.
Yes.
But I think for me, I think it is time that they start to maybe it's a different kind of license and it's under a different kind of brand. I don't know. But there is no reason why Warner Brothers cannot make money off these figures that are in some instances never going to be made by Hot Toys or another official company. That's just the way I see it. I think it's time to open up the license for Warner Brothers and have different kind of tiers, perhaps, where if it's a smaller company like Daftoys making only 100 of these things, why not? Because nobody else is going to freaking make a Harvey Dent with a podium and the flags and the microphones.
No.
Nobody else ever.
I think the problem is, though, how much would that Aaron Eckhart face sculpt cost?
Right.
Because it's not just the license to make the figures, it's the face sculpt. And they would have to buy the likeness, right? And that could end up being the thing that's too cost prohibitive.
Right. Because you're right, Rob, because one of the allures of this figure is that it's cheap. And if the price goes up because the likeness and the license is so expensive, then that becomes more problematic. And that's kind of where third parties fill that void. It's a reasonable price. It's a little bit lower than what we're used to.
And I'll tell you, like they recently released, or I actually paid the pre-order for the Matt Damon from The Martian.
We spoke about that earlier. Yeah.
Oh, I had to have. I love that movie. I'm like, click, because now I've got, because I have those Wandering Earth figures from the Chinese, the Wandering Earth. I've got 2 of the 4.
You got a space area.
Yeah, I got space now. And now I got the
I got space.
Back there, I've got U.S. agent. Wade. That's like a great figure. That third party Captain. Did you
get the Zemo, Rob? The Zemo is awesome.
I have to get the Zemo. I haven't got that yet. But now really because if you've got that, if you've got Bucky and you've got Taskmaster, you got half the Thunderbolts.
Yep.
You can line them up.
And only one of them is Hot Toys.
Right. And only one of them. It's true. It's true. And because that's you want to display them that way. But that is a really great figure. But
it comes with the Two-Face head sculpt?
I didn't realize it came with the Two-Face head sculpt.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
I didn't either.
That changes it. I think. For me, at least.
Yeah, that's 100% a recast, though. That's
maybe. But Daftoys doesn't usually do recasts.
Yeah, I don't know.
Daftoys, I have to tell you off stream who Daftoys is, Will, but they're also another company that we really, really like. So they don't often do recasts.
Hey, maybe I'm wrong.
if ever. I don't think they've done a recast. So usually if they don't have a head sculpt, they'll sell you just the outfit set and you bring your own freaking head sculpt. So you get a head sculpt somewhere else. We ain't recasting. So I think that I've seen some really beautiful, super high-res 3D renders and prints of Two-Face head sculpts. In fact, I have one unpainted. So I think there is a bit of room, maybe, that glass ceiling for how good can a Two-Face 1/6 scale head sculpt be. I think there is a bit of a room for improvement over that Hot Toys Toy Fair one. So I didn't realize this came with this head sculpt. Now I'm even more excited for this darn thing. Damn.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. Wow.
It looks real good. I love that. What do they call that thing? The podium thing where the microphones are. They have a name for it.
The microphones are great too.
Yeah, they are pretty cool. That's a nice little touch.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's unique because I don't think anybody has made that. A lectern, is it called lectern?
A lectern,
Nobody's made the darn thing, and it says Gotham City on it. So if you want to give it to Gordon, perhaps maybe he's making a speech.
Right.
Well, I don't know if you guys know, but the one I would go for personally would be another Alfred, because I really want that Hot Toys Alfred, the Michael Caine version, but it's a little, it's a little.
The Daftoys Alfred reel is really, really good.
Okay, I'll have to look into that one.
Yeah, I have the armory, so that's what I got.
Oh, see, that's the armory. Rob is so good, man. I don't even think I was collecting at the time, but Michael Caine. When I rewatched the Dark Knight trilogy, Rob, I had even more appreciation for this character, Two-Face, Harvey Dent, and of course Michael Caine's Alfred. I thought Alfred was just incredible.
He's great. Okay, boys, I gotta ask you.
What's up?
So I got this Fison body, right?
Okay, let's see. Which one?
Right,
okay, how can I get this Fison body? Probably not the wrong body, but too thin. But why? What do I need to get my Ben Affleck Justice League head sculpt
I'll tell you what you need
body?
to
do. Justin would know, yeah.
So I can put him in this.
Okay, I'll tell you what you need to do. You got a couple of options. If you absolutely are married to using that Fison body, there is a way.
I'm not.
Okay, I'll tell you the way anyway, just in case.
Okay.
So, what you want to do is go and look up a video on YouTube by Keyboard Warriors. They did this exact same thing with Neo and a Fison body. So after the stream, you can go and look it up. But basically, what they did is they cut the silicon at the base of the neck and removed the neck connector, the ball joint piece from the head sculpt, so it was just hollow. And then they literally slid it onto the metal rod because the head sculpt is hollow. So that's one way. The other way is to get a World Box body, which is by far my favorite body for head sculpts with necks, because it comes with multiple different sizes of ball joints and lengths. So you can change the height of the neck, which is awesome because nobody else does that really. So
and is there one you've never steered me wrong when it comes to getting a body?
I'll send you after the stream. I'll tell you which body that and it's cheap, and I think it's the better option than the Fison personally.
Okay.
I'll message you.
I think I'm going to use my, when I was moving my Yondu leg broke.
Oh no.
I still think I'd have the same problem with the ball joint in Yondu's head.
Yes, he has a fixed neck, I believe.
Yeah. So
we'll talk about bodies after. I've got some tips and tricks that I can share. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for the news segment. We're done with the news. Yes, I'm going to get this Harvey Dent. That was the final figure for the news for this week. So let's move on. Rob.
Yes,
the show layout has kind of changed. We're about to go overtime, so Will, if you do need to drop out, just drop out whenever you need to.
Okay. Yeah.
I apologize for going for going overtime. But we've got two main topics today. So we do news at the start, Rob, and then we do the two main topics, and then afterwards we clip them out the stream, and then they're separate videos.
Oh, cool.
So this is an interesting one. I don't know how I'm going to spend talking about this, but I thought I've seen the comments. People have been saying this. People have been asking me. Let's just address it. I'm not a fan of not talking about things when people want me to. So the first main topic for this evening is, why do you sound like that in your videos? Why is my voice the way it is? People have been asking me. People have been saying some nasty stuff and also some really good stuff. So let's talk about it. It's just you and me in the audience.
People don't like your voice in your videos? First of all, can I just raise my hand and say, I love your voice in your videos.
Thank you, Rob.
Before I knew you, I would watch your videos religiously, we did it with love, but Elizabeth and I, my girlfriend and I, we would do you. We would do impressions of you.
You gotta clip that one out.
But that's because we loved your videos so much, and the great thing is I love how when you go into professional mode and you give us your review mode, and I think it's great. Who doesn't like that? What kind of people tell you they don't like your voice? Your voice is fantastic.
Well, I will tell you. So usually my comment section is kind of a bit of back and forth. I always answer all my comments. So whenever it's something to do with my voice, either people saying, I love your voice, it's calming, it's professional, it's whatever. Or it's like one person literally said, if I had your voice, I would kill myself. So it's like I'm on a roller coaster ride.
Jeez.
I don't know if I should kill myself or I should be really happy with my voice. So usually I'm somewhere in the middle. Let me just say that I'm really happy with where my content is at the moment. I enjoy making videos. I try and have fun with it. I've tried to be a little bit less professional. I've been cracking more jokes because, like I said, I want to have fun with it. But let me give you the reason why I present the way I do in my videos, because I don't think I've ever really addressed this. But I don't know if anyone who is commenting or has watched my videos has ever tried to make a video on a 1/6 scale figure in the dark in front of a light box by yourself, filming for hours without a script, just thinking of what to say, thinking of where you're putting your hands, thinking of how the head sculpt is positioned, thinking of how the outfit is posed, thinking of keeping everything in frame. It's not easy.
No,
I don't mean to joke about it, but it really isn't easy. Like, it's awkward at times. I'm talking about like little people just by myself in a dark room. It's not easy. So I try my best to sound normal, as people say, like, why don't you just talk normally? How the hell am I supposed to do that? Who am I talking to? Like, here I'm talking to Will and Rob, so there's a back and forth. But I filmed 5 hours worth of content that day. I'm by myself. It's not as easy as you might think. So that's one reason that potentially I sound a little bit tired, or I don't sound the way you want me to. But that's one reason. The other reason is I want my videos to be professional. So that's why I present rather than just talking about it. Like, if I was like, 100%. So this is a body, I guess. Like, it's a guy. Like, I don't want it to be boring. I want it to be engaging, especially when the videos are longer. And that's just my style. I like to add a little bit of excitement and enthusiasm back in, and that's how I end up presenting. I've had a couple of different tries at it over the years. I was speaking really fast originally, and then I was speaking really slow because people told me I was going too fast, so then I overcorrected. And now I think that I'm in a really good place, and I'm really happy with how my content is right now. So that is why I sound the way I do in my videos, and I hope that makes sense. I really do. Some people have said, why don't you write scripts? I did try writing a couple of scripts, but then I lose that magic of, if I notice something at the moment, I want to talk about that thing, like right then and there, and then I'll lose my place in the script, and then I'll have to redo it anyway. I also record all my audio live, so I don't do voiceovers after the fact. Usually, if I'm handling something, I'm talking about it then and there. So I have that in the moment thing that I was just talking about. So I can literally tell you if I see, oh, this wrist peg doesn't work the way I thought it would, or this tie doesn't go up as much as I thought it should, or something. Like, I want to be in the moment with the figure. Let me see what some of the comments say. Sounds like Justin needs an assistant. I would love an assistant, Charlie the Unicorn. But YouTube isn't the highest paying job out there, as we well all know. So when I'm purchasing statues and figures, unfortunately, the budget for assistants is low. And I don't think anybody would take the job with what I would be offering. So I'm a one-man team. We'll keep it at that. Robo Bat Bunny, I love that name, says, ignore them, Justin. They're just projecting their own insecurities onto you. You are fine. Thank you so much. But it is a big part of the personality of my videos. I want you to know, as soon as you click on that video, as soon as you hear me speak, you know exactly who it is. But also, you can mute it. Like, if you don't like the way I like, just mute it. Because the most important thing is seeing the figure, right? Like, you just want to make a decision if you want to buy it or not.
Yeah.
Right, Will? Like, seriously.
Yeah, but I get, Justin, I know you and I have talked about this at, pretty good length. But dude, I understand. And I think anyone who, puts themselves out there in any way, you don't have to be a YouTuber in 1/6, you don't have to be a YouTuber in general, but anyone who puts themselves out there, like, criticism is just part of it. Not everyone's going to like you in life. I think that's just something we all have to accept, right? And if that's your voice, dude. So like I said, there's no point in, honestly, there's not really much point in people commenting it over and over saying like, oh, your voice, blah, blah, blah. Like if you don't like it, then you don't have to enjoy it. Like we don't all enjoy the same things. Like we all love certain films, we all hate certain films. Sometimes people disagree, and that's fine. So
it's a free video too. Like I'm not charging you, so it's not like damn it.
So at the end,
$2 wasted.
Right.
God damn it.
At the end of the day, yeah. And look, dude, constructive feedback. If people say nice, they're like, oh, Justin, like if they're asking nicely,
that's a good point, Will,
and politely, that's different. But if someone says like something like extreme is kill yourself, like of course that's far beyond what is acceptable.
But like, tell me how you would like me to fix it. Not just like the comments are like that voice though. What do I do with that? Like, do you want me to change the intonation or like the speed or like how deep I'm speaking? Like constructive criticism. I don't want to sound like I'm closed off entirely because I have made so many changes over the years. I'm always trying to improve where I can because I love making videos and I want my videos to be as good as possible. So of course I'm open to constructive criticism. One of the famous ones is back in the day, I never wanted to do articulation because I thought it was the most boring thing ever.
Oh, yeah.
I did not care about articulation. So I was like, skip over articulation. So many people ask me for articulation. And then finally I was like, God damn it. If I want to make my videos as good as possible, I know I need to add articulation. So I added articulation and I think the videos were all the better for it. So I'm more than happy to accept constructive criticism, but like, let's not try and tear each other down.
Yeah.
Will said, we put ourselves out there in our videos. The videos are an expression of ourselves. I challenge anyone who criticizes any YouTube content creators, go and give it a try. Like seriously, set up your camera, put your figures in front of you in a light box and give it a try and see what it's like. And then you will know how it feels to make content and what that is like, that mental cycle of thinking about what to say and how it's coming across and the tone that you want to take. It's really complicated, more complicated than you might think, and not as easy as you might think. So just give it a go and then see exactly what we do when we make our videos, because it is fun, but sometimes it can be very, very challenging. So to sum up, I know I haven't used my panel in this segment as much as I should have. I'm sorry, Will. I'm sorry, Rob, but I really wanted to address this. So to sum up, give content creating a go is the first one. Number 2, videos are an expression of the content creators themselves. We're putting ourselves out there. We're trying to do something meaningful, hopefully helpful. That's why I make my reviews, is to help you make your purchasing decisions and see if something is worth spending money on. I spend my money so you don't have to. And if you don't enjoy the content, that's fine. And if you know how to fix or how to change something that you think will benefit the audience as a whole, please let me know. But don't try and tear content creators apart, because I've been doing this for a really long time and my audience has grown and I'm super thankful for that. And I'm used to seeing that kind of stuff. I see it every day and I can move on. I can speak to Will about it, speak to Rob about it, and I can move on. I can just keep going making videos because that's what I do and it's what I love to do. But not every content creator can have that same mentality. And sometimes it really, really affects creative people. They straight up don't want to create anymore. So be careful with how you're approaching these things with other content creators or any content creators, because toxicity, it ain't it. It's not a good reflection on you. It's not a good reflection on the YouTube community as a whole. We do this because we love it and we want to keep doing it. And I'm sure you all want to keep seeing videos from us too. So unless you lads have anything to add to that, I think we can move on to the next
Absolutely. But I think that was very well stated.
It was well stated.
So, thank you very much. I don't want to hide from things. So
no,
I want to
dude,
address
I get
things.
it. I get it. Hey, you wanted to make a statement. Understandable, man.
I did. 2 super chats did come in while we're doing that.
Okay.
Question for the panel. What's one line you'd choose to collect, I assume, that you don't already collect or that you're not already into? I like this question. I don't know. I would love Turtles. 1990s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, fully seamless. I would love that, but I don't know if anyone's gonna make that.
Yeah.
Dude, anything The Last of Us for me. I'm gonna be crazy. You knew Last of Us, bro. And of course, I have some, but Mortal Kombat.
God of War, maybe? What about God of War?
God of War would be amazing. I mean, I have
they
two
were done
statues right there. But yeah, that's the question, man. Who would do them well? Seamless, fully seamless Kratos. You know, that would be tough with the paint and stuff. That would be challenging. But yeah, man, you know I go for the video game licenses, Justin. But you know, Ghost of Tsushima. That would be a great one.
Oh, you know? I have that. Do you have that figure?
Straw Hat?
No, see, Rob, I don't have it, and I probably should get it, but I have the Prime 1 right over here, so I've just been living off that.
You've got the Prime. That I have to say that's that was one of my favorite acquisitions of like a year ago. I don't remember when
Rob, did you see?
Armor, Rob?
Yeah, did you see Justin's custom mask that he got for Jin Sakai? That thing it was beautiful, dude. It's
I love my samurai, and
me too.
It's such a great.
We're all samurai lovers.
Such a great figure.
Well, Rob, I know you've seen, and this is not a spoiler, I know you've seen John Wick 4. So Hiroyuki Sanada's character in that film, I loved it. I love that samurai vibe too. And of course his daughter, I would buy both.
Well, it's interesting because Hot Toys announced they have that license.
Yep.
Apparently they took down that.
They took it down, yeah.
They took it down.
Because Kane, I'm pretty much in on Kane, I think. I think I'm going to get Kane.
Me too.
When they do make him. Yeah. But yeah.
I wonder why they took it down. That's interesting.
Yeah. You saw it, right, Justin?
I've seen it. I saw it. I saw it day one.
Dude, I loved it.
And I know in the US, y'all like to cheer in movies, and that's like a thing. Like,
yeah, we do.
I cannot stand that. Like when I'm in the zone, when I'm watching a movie, I'm like in the movie. Like it's entranced me. I'm in that world. And then when someone's screaming next to me, it takes me right out of it. And I'm like, what the hell? But in John Wick 4, people were screaming and cheering. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, you were like,
I feel you. I feel you. Come on.
Yeah, right.
It's like when you cheered at the end of Return of the King.
Right.
Look, before my time, but I still have to get around to Lord of the Rings. You will be proud of me, though. My Game of Thrones collection is coming along nicely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, have you been watching it? Did you watch it? That's why
I watched it.
Finished it. Yeah.
Rob. Not only did I watch it, but I did a you. See, I wanted to watch it, and the streaming platform that we have that has it was 1080p SDR. Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. So what I went out and did is I bought the full set of 4K Blu-rays HDR, and I sat down and I changed the discs over and over again because only 3 episodes per disc.
But worth it. Come on.
So worth it. The quality was so much better. And then I went and watched House of the Dragon, also 4K Blu-ray, thanks to the shitty streaming service known as Binge. Thank you so much.
Those Blu-rays are the 4K House of the Dragon discs are incredible.
I'm
surprised no one, Rob or Justin, has picked up House of the Dragon yet, as far as figures.
3-0 apparently has the license. They picked it up.
Okay, good. But nothing's been announced yet. It was interesting, but of course you're going to see some. Yeah,
so what do you think, since you're getting the line, what do you think of the Game of Thrones figures? Because to me, I think some of them are like really, really great.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Some are like peak, and then some of them are like
the Brienne of Tarth figure is amazing.
And the
I think Jamie.
And Jamie's, and also Jon Snow is really good.
Yeah. Well, Jon Snow, Rob, with the custom head sculpt from
one of my favorites.
Tyrion. Tyrion's really well done.
Yeah, that's a great one. That's great
a great one.
That's season 8.
Really, really good. Season 8, yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I wanted to go all season 8 looks or earlier, so now I got a bit of both.
Justin,
in Hong Kong.
Are you going to get Ned Stark? That's a price.
I have Ned Stark. He's right.
Oh, you did? You got him?
Yeah, I got him. The Daenerys, I have both now, the blue dress and the white dress. It's not amazing.
Yeah. No, the face sculpt isn't very good.
Sculpt isn't great. I have seen custom repaints of it though, and it is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
It's just the paint, like the way they've done the eyes. See my eyes, how there's like white at the bottom and there's not at the top. If you have white on the top and bottom of your eyes, it looks like this.
Yeah, it's not.
Nobody looks like that.
No.
So please, toy makers, stop doing that with female head sculpts and eyes. Have them looking up slightly. Don't do like that because it's
NR will eventually get to the Game of Thrones figures. So
and I think they might do like a later season look for Daenerys because
Yeah,
I don't know if they want to go with the seamless, but like the season 8 look maybe with that like dragon.
Do they have the license for Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
InArt does?
Yeah.
Yes.
So they're gonna do Daenerys first, I think, and then Jon after that. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but John was telling me, Justin, I don't know what he told you, but I don't know how deep they're gonna go into Game of Thrones. He said he's not sure. So I mean, they're at least doing those two. Yeah, they're at least doing those two. Could you imagine a Night King from InArt though?
Ooh. I got the Night King, the 3-0 Night King, by the way. I got
really
it in Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, I shit you not, those 3-0 figures were the cheapest things you could ever find.
Yeah.
Really?
So I went to the official Hot Toy store called Toy Hunters. It's one of their stores. They've got like 50. And they had Tormund there. And on eBay, Tormund is quite expensive now. It's kind of hard to find. I picked it off the shelf and I paid 100 Australian dollars for it.
Wow.
Brand new, too. They were like, we'll get you a brand new sealed one. I was like, bloody beautiful. Thank you. I'll take it.
They were like, please take it.
I was like, thank you. They're like, get it out of here.
Yeah,
But yeah, seriously, they were really, really, really cheap in Hong Kong. And I did a lot of figure shopping. And I have done videos and Rob has seen them for Secret Base and Echo Base and Rebel Base. And they are very, very special videos because you get to see some stuff that nobody has ever seen before in Hong Kong at those stores, ever. So stay tuned. The Hong Kong content has been shot. It's ready. It's live for members right now, actually. So members in the chat, let the folks know if you liked those videos. But they will be going live hopefully soon. And there's one more that's a monster video. It's like 30 minutes long. And it's Ryan and I on the streets going around to all of the little dingy little figure stores and looking at head sculpts and third-party figures and bodies and outfits. And it's so much fun. So I will be doing the voiceover for that very, very, very soon.
I'll tell you what I learned from the videos you shared with me. I want all of my Iron Man figures rewired for plug-in.
Budget Stark has a one button for all of his whole wall. Everything. He's like hundreds of figures and one button and they all turn on. It's awesome. It's awesome.
That sounds pretty great.
So we do have one main topic. And again, Will, if you have to jump out, I understand. But
I think I can make one topic work for,
Okay, good. It's the last topic.
It's an amazing panel we got here. So, I got to stick around for this. Can't miss this.
This I stole from you, Will. This is a topic that Will had on his stream recently, and I really, really liked it. So I was like, hey, I want to talk about that too. So we will talk about it. And I like my use of emoji here. Do you wait for the definitive Hot Toys version? And I think that we all might have different opinions on this topic. And that's why I really want to talk about, because I know what Will's opinion is. I don't know if Will knows mine, because mine is a little bit funky. And then I don't know Rob's at all. So let's bring up some pictures. I have some visual aids, if you will, that we will talk about. So let me set the scene, and then I'll hand it over to Will and Rob. And then once they've told us what they think, then I will tell you what I think. And by the way, I am seeing the super chats coming in. I will, at the end of this topic, we will absolutely get to the super chats. I promise we'll do the Q&A segment as we do, and then we will wrap up. So, to set the scene, what does this mean? Well, I've seen this a lot, and I've seen it more and more frequently as Hot Toys make more and more figures. When they announce something like Kang, he's on the list, and he's part of the pictures, you'll see him, people say, nah, I'll wait for the definitive version. I'll wait for the next one. And that's been happening, like I said, more and more frequently because people are kind of being priced out with the volume of stuff that's out there. So they need to be very, very selective. But the question is, how do you know when it's the definitive version? That Kang, right now, that might be the ultimate version, because sometimes the first version is the definitive version. Like this Ant-Man, perhaps. A lot of people say this is the best Ant-Man. Has that retro sort of future techie vibe, the best head sculpt with the smirk on it. So this is the definitive Ant-Man for a lot of people. But that's also subjective. What's definitive for some people may not be definitive for everyone. So it's a very difficult, multifaceted question. Do you wait for the definitive version? Will, I know I think I know what you're going to say about this.
Okay.
And I think I know where you're going. But I'm going to hand right over to you first. Let the folks know what you think.
This is a tough one, Justin. This is very much a paradox to be managed, dude. Because at the end of the day, you never really know for sure, right? If you want to hold out and wait, the first one you passed on could be the definitive version. You could very easily look at the Hawk. The Hawk is an example. As much as you love Age of Ultron, I guess you could argue the second one was also pretty damn good too. But for the people maybe who passed on the Avengers Hawk, who said, "Oh, I'm going to wait for the definitive Hawk down the line," and then you get Professor Hawk. I guess you got Gladiator Hawk, but that's kind of like more of a specialty figure. Like if you had one Hawk, that would probably not be the one for most people. You'd probably want, like now, go try to find an Avengers Hawk or Age of Ultron Hawk, right? All the people have said, "I'll wait for the Endgame Hawk." They're going to do some good things with Hawk, right? And then look what happens. So, and again, if you like Professor Hawk, no problem at all. That's great, but it's just not the definitive one for most people. And, you could look at any number of figures with that. This Ant-Man is another good example. For the longest time, until they remade Loki, Avengers Loki was the definitive Loki, and that's the one that everyone wanted. So everyone was willing to pass. "Oh, I'll get the Dark World one. I'll get the Ragnarok one." And those were okay. I had them all. They're pretty good, but they weren't Avengers, right? That Avengers look is most iconic, and this Kang could be in the same boat. However, there are other examples, maybe where you wait a little bit, they refine the figure a little bit. Bane is the perfect example, right? And look, even the Batmans, all the Dark Knight Batmans that were released, and now you got the DX19, which is pretty much great.
The definitive version.
Right, the definitive version. But it's a tough one because you're always taking a risk anytime you pass on something. And there's something actually that one of my friends who I stream with, most people know, Kiko Collects, told me. He was like, "I don't even know if I'm going to be around in a few years." It's kind of a depressing way to look at it. But he was like, I want something that I'm going to have now. And that's not my approach usually because I tend to be very selective and careful about it. But a lot of people do view it that way. And I understand. I think usually the way I would sum this up, and I'll let Rob go, is when you know. I think when I look at this Bane, I look at him and I'm like, that's it. Like there's what more could really be done here besides the wrist peg. But even then, how would you even do it? You have to give it like a whole swappable arm. It wouldn't articulate, so forth. Like, I think a lot of us too, the mindset that I and a lot of others have gotten into is I'm going to wait for InArt, right? But the problem with that is InArt is very slow right now. So if you're going to wait a long period of time. And after a while, your patience will be tested. So waiting for the definitive version, this is always going to be a gut call. I think you have to look at the films coming up. And you also have to be willing, if you're going to pass on it, to go back should you want it later and probably pay more than what you would have paid. So look at Star-Lord, right? Like Star-Lord, the first one, if you had passed on that one, that would have been okay. But the second one is the iconic version. So
I don't know, Will. I think the first version is better.
Yeah, I'm
think
a
so?
first version guy.
I think the second one is just awesome. I have Infinity War, but I wish I had the second one. So I'm probably going to end up selling the Infinity War one at some point and getting the second one. But, point being, sometimes you don't even get another version. Hela, Yondu, Killmonger, right? Like that is the definitive version. That is your one opportunity. Like the one example, if you guys want Wenwu, get Wenwu. Because this is, unless you want him in a suit, I mean, that's great too. But for me, do you wait for the definitive version? I would say generally yes, but you never know. There is really no way to tell or project or predict the definitive version. Like it's all guesswork. So you have to trust your gut. I would say trust your gut at the end of the day, but when you know, when you see that Bane, you see that Cad Bane, right? You see Chrome Mando and you're like, you know what? With Mando, he's going to be in a million other seasons. So there's going to be other ones, but Roadworn Thor is another example. That's probably the definitive Thor to most people.
I think so.
So, honestly. And I have Infinity War Thor and I'm very happy with it. That's the definitive one to me because that's when he was the strongest to me. That's what but I love that one. But again, what I would say is, when you know. So Infinity War Thor pops up or Darth Maul from Phantom Menace pops up and you're like, that's my Darth Maul right there. That's the most iconic one to me. So that's what I would say. Kang, I'm probably going to get Kang, even though there's going to be an Avengers version. But Justin, think about it.
Will there be?
Will there be?
That's a good point, actually. But if there is a Kang, if Jonathan Majors returns, right? But if it does happen, that Kang figure is probably not coming for 4 or 5 years.
Right.
I mean, because the Kang Dynasty is 2025, 2026. You're looking at the figure 2027, 2028. Like, you know, and unless you get one from Loki that's really cool, maybe that could happen. But other than that, this Kang, you're going to get multiple Kangs, no doubt. But the next Kang down the line is going to be 3 or 4 years from now. So maybe more. So it's just how patient are you? And, you know, that's what I would say, man. I don't think you ever really know, but you got to trust your gut.
So Will's saying this is a personal thing. So you know,
it's got to be
when you know, and I really like that actually. But Rob, what about you, sir? Do you wait or do you not wait? To wait or not to wait? For your
here's
Daftoys definitive versions.
My philosophy in terms of the figures that I collect is I want the definitive version of the character that I like the most, whatever version of that is. And like, for instance, I can't tell you how many 6-scale Darth Vaders I've bought in my life. I mean, a lot. And there's not that much difference between them. What I want is the best version of Vader. I don't need an Empire Vader and a Jedi Vader and a New Hope Vader. I don't. Or a Rogue One Vader. I don't. I want the best version of Darth Vader that I can get, because in my display, do I want 2 or 3 or 4 Vaders? So, and what, unlike like what I love about Justin's displays is you do it like by movie. You've got your Endgame display, you've got your Infinity War display, you've got Civil War display, whatever it is, you've got and that makes sense. And if I was doing a movie, but because I don't buy everything, like I want like my definitive Avengers of whatever iteration it is. Like I loved of all Captain Americas, I did love the Endgame Cap figure, probably the most definitive. And so I've had other Captain America figures. Now I had the first the Avengers movie. I had that first hot toy of Captain America in that suit, and I sold it. But I love that suit, so I rebought the Endgame version because it's so great. You know, you've got so I've got those 2 caps, and then I've got the Winter Soldier stealth suit, because that's cool too. Those are different suits. But in terms of waiting for a definitive version just to have like the best version of this Kang, I mean, I love this Kang. And if this was the only Kang, I don't care what other Kang came out. If I like this Kang, like Doctor Strange, for instance, do you get that recent Doctor Strange, or do you go with
multiverse version?
Multiverse version. I mean,
the definitive one.
And that's the thing. And what
do you wait for the yellow gloves for an even more definitive?
I mean, I think for me, with the amount of stuff that they're putting out, what you should get, what I would advise anybody to buy is their favorite version of the figure. Because if you're waiting for what I don't know what definitive means, because what is that? You know, in the next Thor movie, Thor's hair might be in a way you don't like it. Maybe he's got too big of a man bun, and you've been waiting to get the definitive version, and then I don't like the head sculpt. So to me, it's your favorite version of the character. If you're only going to buy one, that's what I would go for. And by the way, if you're waiting like Kang, they might do 10 Kangs. You know, I have
none.
I have 3 Thanos figures. I don't know why. It's a cool display, but I had to, you know, my little triptych. But you know, okay, this is a great question. Like you keep looking at these, you keep putting up these pictures these are the ones I've questioned myself about. Like is this the last DX version they put out? That would be the definitive version of this figure, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because the thing about that is there's not a whole lot to do with this figure except make it better in terms of what it's made out of. That makes sense. Like, so this to me is a perfect version. But you didn't know that they were ever going to make this version because you thought you already had you never know. But if a figure like this comes out, which is pretty similar, like I would like to have this. I don't have this yet, but I'm going to buy it because this is the definitive version of this. I'll never have to buy this iteration of Batman again unless InArt makes one.
Which they are. Yeah.
I mean, so
that's the question, Rob.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Are they? And if they do, it's going to be how long?
Right.
Yeah, I think both of you made amazing points. 100% agree with all of the points that both of you made. And I'm going to echo some of them. But also, Kiko said this in your stream, Will. And I want to kind of touch on what he said. The whole idea of if this version, say, for instance, that Kang, is coming out now, and you like Kang, and you love the look of that Kang figure, but you're telling yourself, nah, I'll just wait, because, you know, maybe there might be a definitive version later down the line. The only one you're punishing is yourself. If you like that, if you really like that look for Kang, go ahead and grab him.
Yeah.
Because chances are, if there is a definitive version that's coming down the line, first of all, the movie has to come out and be good 2 or 3 years later. Then the figure itself has to come out another 2 or 3 years later. You've already had like 6 years of enjoyment out of that Kang. Right. So you've had your money's worth. You've had your fill. You've had a great time posing it. And you've had a Kang to terrorize your Avengers display in that meantime. The perfect example that upset a lot of people, I think, is Beskar Mando. Because when Beskar Mando came out, people thought that was the definitive version. The deluxe with Grogu, people thought that was the definitive version, right? It had come out in Hong Kong, then it released in the US. And just as it was releasing in the US, Hot Toys announced the Chrome version, and people got really mad. But I tried to tell people, no. You're still going to have the definitive, the only Beskar Mando for like 2 years, at least, or maybe even 3. Because who knows when the Chrome version is going to come out. Luckily, it didn't take that long to come out, but for that period of time, before that new one came out, you had a ton of enjoyment. People did mods. People took pictures. People made videos. People posed it. People removed the fat suit. People switched the body. There was so much enjoyment to be had out of that definitive version that in the end turned out to not be that definitive. So like Will said, you know when you know. As long as you're willing to potentially have multiple different versions of that character in the display, and maybe if you want to sell it down the line after you've had your fun posing it, etc., just jump in if you love the character. If you think that for you could potentially be the one, go in on it. Because the only one that you're punishing if you don't is yourself, and you will regret it later. Rob, I bet you he regrets not picking up the Ragnarok line and the Rogue One line.
Well, I mean, but that's the thing. I think that's what you know, if you're buying a line of figures, I really should have got Chirrut Imwe. Is that his name?
I didn't. Yes, of course.
Chirrut. Why did I buy that figure? I wanted that figure. I just at the time didn't have a lot of disposable income, but I regret not owning that figure. And
you don't want the regret. You don't want.
You don't want the regret. I mean, if you see a figure that you like, go buy it. But it's got to be. Yes.
You can't buy everything. Also,
no.
I like to try and get as much as I can, but please, people, don't try and copy me, because I've got sponsorships and I've got deals, etc. I get discounts and I also get review samples. So don't try and copy every single YouTuber that gets every single figure. If I wasn't doing YouTube, I'd be so much more selective. I promise you that I would. I love putting together my movie displays, and I love putting together multiple different versions of Cap in I've got this Cap shrine with all the different versions, all the different suits. Probably wouldn't be doing that if I wasn't doing YouTube. So, Rob, Will.
Yes.
Do you think that what we've said hopefully it will help people? Hopefully it'll help you decide with the definitive version situation.
Well, I mean, I think whenever I see somebody's displays, it to me, it's a reflection of your personality. You know, like what is it you like to collect? And for me, one of the things that I'm not being serviced in terms of what I like is I like figures like those Heat figures, which are actually quite good. The Heat figures that the Hot Toys isn't going to make those, and not everybody's going to want those because they don't like Heat, you know. And I understand, but with Star Wars and Marvel, everybody gets the same shit. So when you see when you start looking at people's displays, it's like, okay, I know all those figures. I'd much rather see, like, I love somebody's making Vito Corleone from The Godfather, or somebody's making this, or somebody's doing Maximus from Gladiator. These are the kind of figures I like because I love movie related figures. And when you find, and there aren't that many really good ones from third parties, and I like that. I like getting those figures, and for me, that's what I like to buy. And so there's really going to ever only be one, other than people sometimes do multiple figures of things, but for the most part. And I'll tell you something else. Hot Toys, when they do a Neo, why have they never did Agent Smith, and Trinity was, I pre-ordered a Trinity that they canceled, that I'm never going to get. And it's like, I got my Neo, but even though he's a movie figure, he demands to be posed with somebody else.
Morpheus.
I mean, you can get third parties of those, but that's what I hate. I hate when they promise. Hot Toys has promised, why don't I have all the Watchmen? Well, So Toys is going to fill me in, so that's good. But I hate that. I hate when you get part of a team.
It can be dangerous as well, because even though Hot Toys have made a character once, doesn't necessarily mean they're going to make them again. So if you're waiting, you may be waiting a very long time. Like Vision. They made a Vision for Age of Ultron, and then for a good, 5-6+ years, we never had another Vision. So that was the definitive Vision. And then, of course, we got one for WandaVision. Luckily, they decided to do something with Vision. So it's a dangerous situation, waiting all the time, but also not waiting. So like Will said, the best way to sum it up, when you know. If that is your favorite version, throw definitive out the window, because to you, that is the definitive version. If it's your favorite, if it brings you joy.
I love that first Vision figure.
Love
it.
It's
a classic.
It's such a great figure. And you know what? I didn't get the new one, but I did get the white Vision.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just because I wanted, have a display where they're
Of course, you have to have them fighting. 100%. Of course. I really wish they had like a diorama base with those two, though, that could like connect, and then you could have them battle.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm getting in the weeds at this point, but all I want to say about this is go for it. If something makes you happy, if you know that if you had that in front of you, if you're able to pose it, watch the movie while you're posing your figure, and that's what brings you joy, and if you think that waiting is going to diminish your joy, get the freaking figure. Figures are expensive, but then also not that expensive. Like, we're not talking $1,000 statues here. We're talking figures that are, for the most part, affordable if you're not buying every single one of them. So don't punish yourself. If you can afford it, if it's your favorite look for the character, go ahead and get it.
Yeah, that's my advice: is get your favorite.
Get your favorite.
Right. Well, like I said, when you see it, and you're like, I need that. I need it.
Like,
if you go back and forth a ton, sometimes you could get it and then not, and still love it. But I think if you go back and forth, sometimes you have to think, oh man, if I'm this undecided, that is deciding. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I really don't want it that much.
If you're still thinking about it days later, like, maybe, then that's when you know you want it. When you're still thinking about it days or weeks later, and you're like, oh, damn, I really kind of want to get that. That's what happens to me. If I can think about something like, oh, maybe I want that, and then I just forget about it, chances are I never really wanted it in the first place. It was just that spur of the moment thing. Right. But like a week later, if I'm still talking to Steph, like, oh, that Kang, man, like, I really like that. Then she's like, get the thing. You want that. Clearly, you're still talking about it. Get it over with. Rip off the Band-Aid.
Well, I'll tell you one of the things. When I watched What If, there's a lot of cool things in What If, but the thing that I wanted the most was Infinity Ultron. I'm like, I hope they make Infinity Ultron. Yeah, I hope they make Infinity Ultron. But bam,
there he is.
Yeah, there he is. There
he looks great.
He does.
Yeah, and it's like, and I loved my first Ultron. Not many people even bought that Ultron. I thought it was great. Loved it. And you can put his middle finger up so he can go like this.
Like the blood sport.
You sure can. Any figures with articulated fingers, I know people do that right away.
Yeah, but he does it great, because if you pose him up like this, it's like,
he does it better than anyone else.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Oh my god. Well, we're nearing the end of the stream, so now is the time for Q&A, and now is the time where I'm going to be answering the super chats that came in. So, SJC says, do you have any POR Toy Studios figures or Paw Toys? No, I don't. I really wish I did, because they are insanely good. For those who don't know, Paw Toys, they're a custom studio.
Oh.
And I think they're based out of Korea. And they make full seamless figures, seamless forearms, beautiful head sculpts, full custom bodies. In fact, I'm pretty sure they made a body that they're going to be selling, like, just out of various resellers. So you can buy the body and you can adjust the length of things, the neck connectors and everything. Nice. I really wish that I could get some of them, but they're limited batch, and also they're insanely expensive. So,
oh my, I'm on their Instagram page. I wish I wasn't.
So Rob knows. Go ahead and look up Paw Toys on Instagram if you would like to see some truly eye-watering beautiful 1/6 scale figures because
these
they are.
John Wick 4. Oh man,
yeah, they've made a Kane already with the seamless forearms, and he's like in an action pose. Oh, it looks
I gotta
so
see
good.
that.
Yeah, go and look at it. Will look it up. While the boys are doing that, Ash Chase says, "I hate people talking in movies. True story. Saw a movie. These little girls talk in the movie the whole way through." And see it again just to understand the damn story. I'll give you an example just like that, Ash Chase, and thank you so much for the super chat. So we were sitting down to watch The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, Nicolas Cage movie. I was really excited to see that movie. First thing that happened, 10 minutes into the movie, the fire alarm goes off. Not ideal. We had to evacuate the cinema. There was no fire. It was a false alarm. Great. Nobody was harmed or anything. We can go straight back in. Really happy about that situation, because if the cinema was on fire, that would not be an ideal situation. So it wasn't on fire. We went back in. But after that, for some reason, the audience in the cinema, they have built some camaraderie out of this shared event of leaving the cinema with the firearm. They saw fit then to talk throughout the whole movie. So the back row, there was a lady eating sushi who was telling people about her sushi. Not sure why. Then there were other people screaming and swearing, and there were a couple of drunk people there. They'd gotten some booze in them when they left the cinema for the fire alarm. It was truly awful. I literally missed half of the dialogue in that movie, so I need to see that movie again. But I feel you, Ash. That has happened to me before. That has happened to me. Has that happened to you guys before ever?
Yeah,
like when
not the fire alarm thing, but talking in the movie. Dude, the talking in the movie theater, man, that's to us, who are so obsessed with film and these characters, that's like one of the biggest pet peeves.
It's the worst thing ever. Why does anybody do that?
I hate it.
Paid to go into the theater to listen to yourself talk.
Rob, that keeps some people out of the theater for sure. Because people are going like, I don't want to go to the theater because people are just going to talk and shit. Like it's I've always advocated for bouncers. So I think that would be great if each theater had one. But I think isn't Alamo Drafthouse who does that? I think so. But I don't know. I would love to see that type of thing at the theater, because talking is just the worst.
There's this one guy, Will. He had his phone in the cup holder facing me on the left. And it was a new iPhone 14 with the always on screen. And this was before they had the mode where you could just turn off the background. The background was on as well. So it was sitting there facing me throughout the whole movie. And it was a picture of himself wearing aviator sunglasses, looking as cool as he could, cool as a cucumber, sitting there, illuminated towards my face for the whole movie. And I was like, I don't want to be a dick and be like, can you fucking get rid of your phone, man? But also, I was like, oh. So in the end, I just literally put my arm there and I was blocking the screen. But yes, that was another example of not necessarily talking, but having to see this guy's phone illuminating my face from the left side.
The real problem is, that if people are going to do that in theaters, if they have their phone out or they're talking in the movie theater, they're also the kind of people that would get belligerent when you tell them not to do something.
Yes, that's
so
true.
Those people are already disrespectful. They're already walking around the world like they don't have to worry about anybody else. So that's a good bet they'll get belligerent. And the question is, how much do you want to see the movie? That happened to me. I was at a concert at the Hollywood Bowl, a classical music concert.
Ooh.
These people came in at the intermission and they were hammered already. And they were literally talking through the performance of a classical concert.
Damn, you can't do
that. And I turned to I asked them to please be quiet a couple times. And then when it was over and people were getting up, one of the guys was belligerent, and I'm a pretty big guy, and he wanted to start something. And this is what I've come to do. I'll stop and go, if you'd like to start something, let's go outside right now.
Damn.
And just stare at them. Most of the time people back down, because then you just have to make, but then you have to make them think that there's something about you that they don't know and they don't want to know. I mean, I've said,
Rob,
this is terrible. I've said this in movie theaters. I don't do this anymore because people carry guns now. But I'm like, I used to say, if somebody was right behind me, I would do the Clint Eastwood and be like, if you don't shut the fuck up, I'm going to slit your throat from ear to ear. And just do that.
Gets their attention.
Yeah, because people are like, but sometimes though, people don't realize that they're talking. Right. There are actually nice people that aren't even aware, because everyone's so used to yammering away in their own living rooms. They don't
realize.
Yeah, they don't realize. So you have to kind of
unlike the lady who took a phone call during Shazam Fury of the Gods. And Steph, I was actually, because she was quite far removed from me, I was fine, but she was near Steph. And Steph was livid. And I was like, I don't know what to do because I don't want to tell this lady not talking on her phone because, like Rob said, I want to be screamed at in the movie.
Well, that's why, yeah, you got to bring, you either got to get to yourself that point or bring a friend who just doesn't give a fuck. Because, like, I'll take my brother and he gives no fucks. If someone does that, he'll be like, can you shut the fuck up? Like, he'll literally tell them that. Like, and they do. Like, it's like Rob said, like, they back down.
It's awkward for them. Yeah, it's awkward for them too. We do have a super chat from Action in the Box. Thank you so much, Action, but I didn't see a comment. So if you, oh, wait, here we go.
Oh.
There, separate comment. There is no definitive in life. All is changing and improving all the time. Live in the present and get what you love now. I like that.
I like that too. That's good.
I like
advice.
that. Yeah.
Rodders with a £5 super chat says about your last topic. Oh, this is a direct question.
Oh, there we go.
Should I get Ahsoka from Mando or wait for her show version? Well, as far as I'm aware, there's been set leaks, etc., pictures of her in costume. Her outfit pretty much looks exactly the same, except for her leku, which are a little bit longer. So, if that is enough for you to say that that version is the definitive version, then maybe wait. But her show is coming out sometime this year, and then there's no guarantee that Hot Toys will want to make another Ahsoka. I think they will, but there's no guarantee. I would say if you want an Ahsoka in live action now, she's appeared in Mandalorian, she's appeared in Book of Boba Fett, and she's been in the same outfit both of those times. New silicon body, it's a DX, you have multiple different versions, a new Grogu with articulated arms this time. I don't see the problem with going with this Ahsoka, to be totally honest with you. For me, I freaking love this Ahsoka. She is awesome. She's really, really good. But a lot of people have been questioning the head sculpt. So maybe the next version will have better head sculpt. I don't know. I don't know if that helped at all. I'm so sorry if it didn't. But I think
Justin, I think the head sculpt in person looks really good. So I thought in photos, I didn't really like it that much. But when I saw it at Kiko's house, I was like, that is pretty good, actually. The only issue, Justin, I don't think yours had this, but a lot of people's arms are breaking. Yeah.
I'll tell you why. So the way the elbows are made is a little bit different to normal figures. So the bicep is a metal tube that goes underneath the silicon. And then the elbow joint is pegged into that metal tube. And basically, the peg itself is quite thin and quite long. So and I'm not saying that everyone's doing this, but if you get it out the box and you try and bend that elbow and it's not in the correct alignment to the way you're bending it, straight away going to snap. Straight away. So what I did with mine is I felt where that elbow bend was before I bent it, and I bent it multiple times throughout the course of that review. No issues on both sides.
Okay.
But if it's one of those situations where it's out of alignment just by a little bit, and you bend that plastic in a metal tube, the metal is harder than the plastic. So something's going to break, and it ain't going to be the metal. So that peg is going to snap clean off.
I think I did that to my Endgame Black Widow.
Yeah, there's probably the same technology in there, I would imagine.
There's something wrong with her elbow. It came unfastened. It was like that when I got it, but what are you going to do?
Damn. So I don't know if that helps you at all, Rodders. Hopefully we were able to help you, but it's a beautiful figure, man. Seriously. If you want an Ahsoka, you could do a hell of a lot worse than that Ahsoka. I don't really like the Clone Wars one. I know a lot of people think that's the definitive one. But I think that this one is the definitive one because it's actually live action based off a real person, seen in multiple shows, getting her own show. Rosario Dawson, she's fantastic. Roger Gaming NL with a super chat. Some of you guessed getting the face-off figures. Face-off, I saw it. The figures, they look pretty good, actually. We've got the John Travolta and the Nicolas Cage figures. The face-off. Like the movie. I just knocked over Tyrion. Rob, surely you're getting those face-off figures. Surely.
Well, it's funny. An old girlfriend of mine, I used to have the Nicolas Cage figure that was made about 10 years ago that came with all the accessories. I don't know who made it, but she took it because she got it from me. When we broke up, she took it. So she took it back.
Wow. So you need to get this one then.
So I have to get them. I love those are movie figures that I want.
Face-off. I'm sorry, I haven't seen it.
I think you guys would really like Face Off. If you guys love, if you're John Wick fans, you'd like Face Off, I think.
Ooh, okay. That's elevated. What, on the plane to London? I'll watch it because we're going to London on Monday for Star Wars Celebration. So I'm gonna download it and watch it. That's
nice. Sure. You should watch it. It's good.
Expect some London content also. So Forbidden Planet, they sell hot toys. Gonna go there. Dean Knight has already said that we can link up and I could film a collection tour with him. So I get to film his collection, me in the room with Dean. Cannot wait to see Dean again. We're gonna get some Chinese food afterwards. Have a chat about figures, I'm sure. So expect to see content there. We've booked the Harry Potter Warner Brothers studio tour. So we'll film some of that too. And of course, Star Wars Celebration with Lael. I cannot wait to meet Lael in person.
I'm not going to be there, but I can't wait to meet Lael in person either.
You will, Rob. You will.
One day, yes.
It's gonna happen.
I was hoping that Paul was going to be there. Paul Sun Hyung Lee, of course, Carson Teva in The Mandalorian, kicked ass in that last episode. Because I was working with another YouTuber by the name of Zed Abu, and he made this head sculpt for Paul. And I thought, it'd be really nice to put together a full custom Carson Teva figure.
That's a great head sculpt.
That is really strong.
It looks like him, yeah. And this is just a crazy little custom that I put together. But here's a little Mr. Kim action.
Wow.
Nice.
Obviously not its final body destination, but I ordered a Sideshow Red 5 X-Wing Luke. So I'm going to use that as the outfit because it comes with the boots, gloves, everything, and a helmet. And I'm going to put together a full Carson Teva, and I'm going to send it to Paul. I was hoping he would be at Celebration, though, and I could give it to him in person and film that. But I don't think he's going to be at Celebration, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Maybe he will. I don't know. But as it stands, currently, he's not one of the guests listed. So maybe he'll just be walking around, and I can give it to him. But I want to give it to him. Cola Kasu with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat, Cola. Thank you, Justin, for all your awesome content. Dang. That means a lot, Cola. Thank you. Yesterday, I put out my longest review ever. 48 minutes and change for the quarter scale Dark Knight Batman. That took me 2 days to film.
Wow.
That figure was a beast. And people wanted to see head swaps, comparisons, how the cape works. Like, I want to show everything. And I think I managed to show everything. I didn't see any comments yet saying, Justin, you didn't try this. So I think I managed to show everything. So that was my longest review ever. Yeah, it's when I spend 2 days making something and people show me some love like that, I actually really appreciate that. So whenever you show me love, it doesn't go over my head. I genuinely do read and answer every YouTube comment. So thank you so much, Cola. Riley's in the house. Riley.
Oh,
hello,
the man himself.
Riley. Justin, what is your favorite Hot Toy Spider-Man figure ever? Riley, I don't know if I'm breaking the rules here, but if it can be a figure that has not released yet, hands down, easily, no question, the new red and blue suit, the iconic suit we're calling it from No Way Home. Not even a contest.
I think I'm with you. Yeah.
Easily. Proportions, head sculpt, the neck, the visible neck, the suit material, the classic look, the diorama display base. You can't beat it. You just can't beat it. That one. Easily. I didn't see it in person, unfortunately, in Hong Kong, but I did see Green Goblin in person.
Ooh,
the hobo goblin with the, the tattered. Yes. And I can tell you that seeing these prototypes in person, completely different to pictures online. And you will see it in that video, the Secret Base Tour video.
Nice.
So get excited about that video. We'll do a video yet, but it's lengthy. And normally Hot Toys don't allow filming in their stores. Somehow we managed to film all of the stores. So I do have to say thank you to Ryan and Budget because they helped me work it out with the people at Secret Base and Echo Base and Rebel Base. So we managed to film because otherwise they were like, no filming. Toy Hunters, the original Hot Toy store before they had Secret Base. We went in the first day. We very politely asked them. The store was empty, by the way, so it's not like I was filming customs. We said, hey, do you mind if we film the display? They were like, yeah, no, absolutely not. No filming. And there were no signs that said no filming. So I was like, damn. Because we just filmed an intro, like walking up to the store, and Brian and I were talking about what to expect to see there, film the outside of the store. So then we came back the next day, and this is a bit cheeky, but I'd flown to Hong Kong. I wasn't not going to get any footage. So Ryan just distracted the guy while I filmed the display. So I got footage of the store is the most important thing. So you'll get to
move
see,
there.
You'll get to see it, yeah. So Ryan, thank you for being a trooper and distracting that guy. And then he, at the end, the guy, after I'd already finished filming, he came up, he's like, no filming. And I didn't apologize because I was, as far as I'm aware, I wasn't doing anything wrong. There was no signage that said no filming. I wasn't filming any other customers, literally just a display of figures. And I was like, oh, okay. But I'd already filmed anything, so everything.
It was already done.
It was already done. I was like, okay, no problem. I'd already finished. So yeah, there is plenty of Hong Kong content coming, even when I wasn't supposed to maybe be filming. So yeah. Riley Review says, that's cheating, but I'll give you a pass because he's glorious. He is glorious. If I had to pick another one, though, Integrated Suit's a beautiful figure. Absolutely beautiful. Calvin says, I'll be Lael in London with Lael, I think he meant to say. Looking forward to meeting you as well. Thank you so much, Calvin. I'm going to be the guy wearing the Justin's Collection shirt at Celebration. So
easy to spot.
You'll see me. Easy to spot. I had some shirts custom made. I made one for Lael as well. So I'll give it to him. He doesn't have to wear it, of course. But, I thought it'd be a nice gesture. I did my logo in the Star Wars font on the front in yellow. And then on the back, I did my logo in like a hyperspace, like it's jumping like light speed thing, and I put the Star Wars Celebration logo on the back. So I know it's got my name all over it, but I thought it'd be nice to give a piece of merch to Lael, so I made one for him too. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the stream.
All right.
We've been going for almost 2 hours, which is longer than I promised Will. I'm so sorry, Will.
It's all good, dude. It was fun, man. It was
great to stream with you boys again.
Yeah, it was great to stream with you, Rob. It was fun, man.
It was awesome. We had another super chat come in just before about to end. Tony Reyes, thank you so much for the super chat. Awesome channel, even though I don't collect Hot Toys. Those are the comments that I really like to see, actually. When people are like, I don't collect Hot Toys, but I love watching the videos and I'm thinking about getting my first figure, etc. I love seeing those because that just goes to show that this has a broader appeal. It's not just the weirdos like me standing in front of a light box filming toys. The stuff that we're doing actually matters to people and they enjoy seeing the figures and it brings you joy. So Tony, that's awesome. And maybe hopefully one day you will become a Hot Toys collector and you'll buy your first figure. And I can't wait to hear what that is.
I will say this, though. Tony has a very cute wife who assists him in building Gundam models.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I love Gundam.
So I mean, and she's very supportive of that. And like nice. I get relegated. I got a model on the side kitchen table and I get yelled at.
Yes.
My lady's like, why is this?
Yeah, Steffi's like, why is Jon Snow on our dining table still, like after 2 weeks?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't actually answer that question. And she's like, I just got that Freddie Mercury set again because like a moron, I sold it. And I was regretting it ever since. And when I was in Hong Kong,
that one,
and I love it. Yes, that one. I got both, Rob. I got the yellow and I got the Live Aid. I got both.
I love this. You cook. I told me which Feist and body to get. This figure is the best.
The 2 weeks is a long time, though, Justin, to have.
Yeah, for having a figure. Yeah,
that is.
I know, but
that's an
I haven't
extended
decided.
Stay.
The issue is I haven't decided if I want to put the coat on him or not. So I'm like, before I box everything back up, I'm just, I'm thinking through it.
Yeah,
I'm just working it out.
It's understandable. I guess it makes
so
sense.
That's why I haven't told Steph that.
Steph will understand.
When I finish this model I'm making, I'm going to build a Gundam model, my perfect grade. The one you built, Justin, the
Unleashed, the perfect
grade Unleashed RX-78.
Classic. What a beauty. That is a very involved model, though. So it might take you a minute. Or a long minute, or a long time.
Well, the one I've been building now I've been working on for weeks. It's 4.5 feet long.
Whoa!
It's a 4.5 foot long from the anime space battleship Yamato. It's the space battleship Andromeda.
Like 4 subways long.
Yeah, it's huge, and it's all I have to build all the lighting inside of it. It's a pain in the ass.
I want to see that when you're done.
Yeah. I will make a video.
Oh, heck yeah. Well, ladies and gents, thank you so much for joining us on this live stream. Will, Rob, it has been a pleasure. And don't forget, ladies and gents, there will not be a live stream next week because I will be in London. Unless I stream from London, which I don't know if that's possible. It might be possible.
If it is.
We'll figure it out.
Does Celebration start Wednesday?
Celebration starts Friday to Monday. 4 days. Yeah. So maybe I'll see how we go, and I'll ask Steph. I don't know if she wants live streaming on our trip, but anyway, I will try my best. If not, we'll be back the following week, and I'll have reviews up for Infinity Ultron, Silver Centurion, and I'm hoping that Jesse comes today so that I can film Jesse before I leave. That's my goal. So I'm hoping Jesse comes today, and I will be filming Matt Murdock, the Hero Lawyer 2.0. So I'll be filming that today. So you'll have plenty of content to look forward to, as well as the Hong Kong content, which will be kind of crazy because the Hong Kong stuff will be dropping when I'm in London. So anyway, you all will see, you all will enjoy. Will, before we go, what do you have coming up next on the channel, sir?
Dude, so I have a live stream tomorrow, Justin, with Mr. Kiko Collects and Mr. Dean the Dream from Collecting Weekly. So check out their wonderful channels, both Collecting Weekly and Kiko Collects. Really good friends over there. So that's going to be fun, Justin. And yeah, I have a review. You know what's arriving tomorrow? I didn't get to tell Rob this. The Storm Collectible Sub-Zero is arriving tomorrow. So nice. Rob, I don't know how big of a Mortal Kombat fan you are, but I got the Scorpion. And for the longest time, Rob, I was like, you know what? I can't handle these exposed joints. I can't do it. But if you pose him right, Rob, you can conceal them.
Yeah, that's,
I told you, Will.
It's all about
Justin
that.
did tell me, and my friend Carlos told me too, Rob, and I didn't listen. But then I went to a toy store. Shout out to Replay Toys, by the way, in Bowling Green, Kentucky. I went there, and they let me pose the figure and everything, and I was like, damn, Justin was right. Carlos was right. Everyone told me all you have to do is move the strap and bend the arms. But I'm excited for Sub-Zero tomorrow. So I'm going to be reviewing that. And
did you get the exclusive, Will, with the bloody weapons again?
Justin. You know, I'm a man of taste.
I couldn't get them. They were US exclusive.
Really?
I'm really annoyed that
you could, because I think Bandai was selling them. That's where I got it from. Yeah.
Bluefin or Bandai or whatever. But I couldn't get them from them. They don't ship here. So
dude, I got the bloody weapons for Scorpion. It's the same stuff. It just comes with an extra set of bloody weapons, and it's the
I wish I had the bloody stuff.
I don't know why they didn't do seamless, but at the end of the day, they're still amazing figures. I'm gonna be reviewing that. And yeah, I put out a vlog recently when I went to Tennessee. We went toy hunting. That was fun. And yeah, there's a bunch of clips I posted from. So anyone wants to know InArt info, I interviewed John from InArt, and I clipped it all out. So you don't even have to watch the whole stream if you don't want. All the questions that you want answered are there. So it's all out there for you guys. Anyway, there'll be other stuff, but I don't remember it at the moment. So, you know. So I appreciate you having me as always, man. And I got to stream with Rob, and that was a blast. I haven't done that in a while now. So
now I got to go to Olive Garden.
Yeah, that's why
I've still never been to Olive Garden. Rob, you should have taken me to Olive Garden while we were.
I should have. We should. And there was an Olive Garden close to where you were.
Oh, really?
Well, see, Rob, Justin, I'm trying to get Justin to come to SDCC because I'm going to be there. And if Justin goes, then we can go to Olive Garden.
Yeah, I look forward to meeting you.
You take me though, right?
Oh, Rob, you're going to be there?
Oh yeah, I'm at San Diego every year,
dude.
So awesome. So you can both take me then if we
absolutely
both go to Olive. We'll all go to Olive Garden, and then I'll see what it's all about. I don't know what it is, what kind of cuisine it is. Sounds Italian, I guess, because Olive. Okay, it is Italian. Perfect.
Yep.
So I can't wait. I'm San Diego is. I'm hoping. Last year we never unfortunately made it happen, but this year I'm hoping it does. I'm just waiting to get approval on passes. That's the one thing.
Right.
If I can't get the passes, then I can't go, obviously. So I'm working on it, but no promises. Rob, what do you have coming up next on your channel, sir? Now that you're doing your channel
free and clear, I'm. You know, I've been doing a Picard season 3 after show, so we're doing that tonight for episode 7, Dominion. I've had some of the writers and some of the actors be on my channel, and Terry Metalis, the showrunner. So we're doing that. Then I'm obviously doing more Robservations and collaborating with a lot of other people. And then also I have a few other creators making stuff on my channel. King Tannic out of Texas, 20-year-old anime fan, has been doing a show on my channel called The Otaku Experience. And he dropped episode 9 today. And they're hour-long episodes if you like anime and you keep up to date with anime. He does a great show. He puts on a great show. And that's on that. My channel is The Burnett Work. So check that out.
Link in the description, by the way. I popped both of these lads' channel links in the description. Go and subscribe to these guys. Give them a sub because they do awesome work and different work as well from what I do. Will does reviews, but he also does other stuff. Rob does a lot of film-related stuff. So we've got you covered. The three of us together, we got you covered, baby. Don't worry. Check out the links in the description. And Rob, if he has time, he's more than welcome to pop on to the stream when we're back as well. I would love to have the three of us.
I'd love
back
to.
again because I think
it'd be great.
Dude, 100%.
Plus, by then I should have my Module case display renovated.
Rob, mine are arriving over the next few months, so I'm super excited.
Yeah, I don't have much. I gotta see how much more room I've got, but I could really use some DX. And then I got the Jazz Inc. Batwing and
oh man,
Snowspeeder
dude, that Batwing is massive, Rob.
I know. I'm gonna hang it.
Yeah, I was about to say. I have to say, where are you going to put that thing?
I'm going to hang it probably right over there. So
I'm going to review it, and I don't even know how I'm going to.
Yeah, how are you going to review that? Yeah.
I have no idea. That's my biggest challenge.
Have you got yours yet?
No, I don't have mine yet. Mine, I have to speak to Yoast actually about that. But I have no idea. I don't think there's enough white background in the world to cover that thing.
I would have take it outside and put it up and have the sky as the background.
Right.
The sky just that's actually a really neat idea for a shot, like at night, putting it over the moon.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And then put it on the asphalt. It looks like it's on a runway at an airport.
Ooh, I like that. Beautiful. I find a cave too. Pop it in the cave.
Yeah, there you go.
Bat cave.
Yeah, find a cave. You get some actual bats.
Find one,
yeah,
and then get some bats. Actually, not a bad idea. So
you're in the right place.
Yep.
With that, stay tuned. Sub to these guys' channel. Sub here if you like what you see on this stream, plus the other reviews. More content coming. We'll catch you in the next video.